Any mention?
Please, Your Lordship.
Yes.
I beg to mention item number 10 of the main list. I pay for 1 week, Lordship.
Then, on whose behalf?
On behalf of Mr. Bidep.
Who? Bidep?
Bidep.
Dr. Mojiki, is it related to the other matters?
No, well, this is not related to that.
What is the matter about?
Well, here, my lord, there is some.
These contempt matters, they are being 15, 16, they're flagging in the CIS. You know, that 15 matters are pending, you know, that's 8 years. You know.
Nothing remains in this contempt, my lord.
Who's arguing it?
Yes, Lordship.
Who's arguing this matter? Who's arguing counsel in this matter?
Bidep, Lordship.
Bidep? Bidep. Who's Bidep? Oh, Bidep. Okay.
Earlier, Mr. Sangreso was appearing. I argued on some occasions, my lord.
Yes, newly engaged counsel, Lordship.
1 week. Yes.
1 week.
Okay, as not really engaged, his name appears here. Yes. On the prayer of the counsel for the petitioner due to unavailability of Mr. Bidep. This is a matter of the 1 week, yes.
Much.
Yes.
May I please, Lordship? I beg to mention item number 12.
Number?
Item number 12.
On whose behalf?
On behalf of Mr. S. Sheikh.
He's for the respondent.
He's for the respondent number
For the petitioner,
4 and 5.
Private respondent.
Private respondent.
You have no objection?
No objection, Your Lordship.
2 weeks, okay. Yes.
Lordship, I beg to make mention for item 11, Your Lordship.
Where's the petitioner? What happened? Settlement talks were going on? What happened?
I'm not aware about that, Your Lordship.
Aware about that, but time was taken time and again for settlement talks.
His Lordship, no instruction, Your Lordship.
Instruction. You ready with the matter, both of you?
No, Your Lordship.
No, Your Lordship.
I don't think this is point of law, I think. After 1 week, okay.
2 weeks, Lordship.
Why? Okay, 2 weeks.
Highly obliged.
Highly obliged, Lordship.
Yes, Lordship. I beg to mention item number 15.
He's jumping from day to day.
I prefer some more time, Lordship.
15?
Yes, Lordship.
What's the matter about?
It's this appointment.
Appointment, Lordship.
Okay, 2 weeks. Yes.
Highly obliged, Lordship.
Supplementary list, item number 1. May I please, Your Lordship? This is a contempt petition, Your Lordship. The brief fact of the case, Your Lordship, being aggrieved by the non-settlement of family pension and other terminal benefits, the petitioner has approached this Honourable Court, and this Honourable Court on 25/10/2022, Your Lordship, was pleased to direct the respondent to complete.
Where's the order?
It's annexure 1, Your Lordship. Page number 10, paragraph 5, Your Lordship. In this view of the matter, and in view of the fact that the petitioner had been retained in the post of for long 18 years, and that the case had been put up for consideration for regularization, it is directed that the said process pursuant to the letter at annexure C shall be completed within a period of 3 months from the date of submission of a certified copy of the order. But after the lapse of 9 months, Your Lordship,
Must issue notice for MSS Pandit. That comes the petitioner issue notice returnable in 3 weeks. Steps are taken by Resident AD within 1 week. Yes, this thereafter also.
item number 2.
My lord, the item number 2 and 3 connected matter. If my lord can take up, please, item number 3, because in the item number 2, one of the impugned order that I'm challenging has been wrongly annexed of the item number 3, my lord. So I will do the corrections in the course.
How would you, without doing the corrections, you going to move your case? You do
my
the
lord,
corrections?
Item number 3, but item number 3 is okay. Otherwise, my lord may take up item number 3. Item number 2, I will do the corrections, my lord.
I'll first take on item number 2. Mr. P. Hoban submits that due to some inadvertent errors that have corrupted with regard to the pagination.
My lord, annexure.
With regard to annexure?
What was that annexure? Annexure 15, my lord.
Annexure 15, he prays that we are allowed to correct the said defect. Yes. According to prayers allowed, defects we correct in the course of the day. List next week.
Annexure.
Yes. 3 yes, what is this?
My lord, yes. My lord, I belong to the Hajong tribe, my lord, here. And Hajong is one of the 17th recognized scheduled tribe in the state of Meghalaya, my lord.
Yes.
In the interview, in the recruitment process, my lord, that was held for appointment to the male jail warders, my lord. In the reserve category, my lord, reserve category for the other tribes, like other scheduled tribes, I stood in second position, my lord. So in the second select list, second position, the select list, and accordingly I was given the appointment order, my lord, and I have joined the service also, my lord. Now thereafter, my lord, certain scheduled caste candidates, my lord, who were not found in the merit list, and then approached the learned single judge. Learned single judge state the order, my lord, of the
Which order? Your appointment?
My appointment, my lord. In fact, not only my appointment, entire select list, my lord. The entire select list was state, my lord. Thereafter, and certain directions were passed to directing the government to revisit the reservation policy and with those directions, my lord. Now the division bench, the matter was taken to the division bench. In the division bench, the division bench has set aside the order of the learned single judge, my lord. Accordingly, my lord, thereafter I was allowed to join my service, my lord. Now subsequently what happened is that, my lord, the scheduled caste candidate, my lord, the scheduled caste, what the government did was, my lord, they have clubbed together the select list, the merit list of the other scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe together. Thereafter, they have drawn a merit list and they have removed me from the merit list. In my place, a scheduled caste candidate was appointed, my lord. And this was discovered very recently, my lord, by way of an RTI, that in my place, my lord.
Now, one thing, Mr. Yum, do you derive any benefit from the division bench order? No.
That was a temporary, my lord, because that was just ad hoc till withdrawing.
Yes.
It was, the direction was that to redraw the select list, my lord. Now, in the Meghalaya reservation policy, my lord, in the 1971 policy, it says that 40% for the other 3 major tribes and 5% for the scheduled tribe, other scheduled tribes and the scheduled caste, my lord. In my humble submissions, my lord, went because these two are separate classes.
So who has given your praise? You implemented him?
Yes, my lord, I have implemented him, my lord.
You were one of the original petitioners.
Who was the original writ petitioners? And I was.
I don't know if I can take up this matter. Because division bench against the order of single, I remember now, against the order of the single judge, I had appeared.
My lord.
Yes,
My lord. Justice Sen was
by,
yes, my lord.
Oh, before division bench, not before Justice Sen.
My lord.
Yes, this is the matter before any other bench order.
My lord.
If you derive benefit of division bench order, yes. If it's on a different footing, then there's no issue taking this matter by this court.
The divisions, my lord, the benefits, but the benefits that I got a very temporary, that is gone, my lord.
That's okay, issue noted.
My
yes,
lord.
What do you have to say?
My lord, I will have to take instruction, my lord.
Yes, but Mr. P. Uben, issue notice returnable in 3 weeks. Yes, MS R. Kolni
for 1 to 4
is present, except those 1 to 4. Petition takes steps to issue the notice to respond number 5 within 3 days. Yes, also.
Highly obliged.
Item number 4.
Please, Your Lordship, this is a pension-related matter. Here, the central and the state are also party. Reason being, the petitioner was initially appointed under the state. Now he was deputed to Nigrims, which falls under central. So he retired in 2021. Just briefly, I'll explain, Lordship. The petitioner joined service in 1984 in Secretariat. After 5 years of service, he was deputed to Negrims in 1989. From 89, he was
functioning from which year?
Was there 1989? I have
Okay.
Around 99 maybe.
89. For just a period of 1 year. After that, he was given an option for absorption. He opted that, and he was absorbed in Negrims for a temporary period. After 10 years of service in 1999, he was permanently absorbed in Negrims. He retired recently in 2021. All his pensionary benefit is GPF only. He got only his GPF. As far as the other benefits, he did not get.
You're serving as?
As peon.
Okay.
So till date, there's a representation which he has given also 2021. Till date, no response.
Let me examine it.
I'll have it. 1, 3, 4 and 5.
But Mr. S. Marpan, the concerned petitioner, you should notice Dr. Anvozika with S. from Thao
1, 3, 4 and 5.
present on behalf of the respondents. 1,
3, 4 and 5.
1.
1, 3, 4 and 5.
No, you be 1, 4.
1, 4 and 5.
1, 4 and 5.
1,
1, 4 and 5. It's been accept notice. Similarly, Ms. Andy Shulail and AG with so and so. It's been behalf of 2 and 3. No further to call for list after 3 weeks. For the stuff, the affidavit, yes.
Judge.
Much.
Item number 5.
May I please, Your Lordship? Lordship,
Yes, what's the urgency? Why did you mention this urgent?
Lordship, this is with regard to the implementation of a developmental project for construction and erection of electrical power tower and laying of high tension lines, Your Lordship. Lordship, it's actually the brief fact is this, Lordship, the respondent number 3, who is the general manager for Power Grid, had approached the my writ petitioner's Lordship herein and had sought for the land for the purpose of putting on these for the construction of these lines, Your Honor. That is a 220 kV line from Killing substation to Maungap substation, Lordship. And they had readily agreed for that, because on the verbal agreement they had said that we will compensate you for that, and also we will give jobs to their relatives, immediate relatives. But that was verbal, Lordship.
What kind of job?
Any government jobs, any jobs in their departments, Lordship. Now, Lordship, the respondents here were not only the Power Grid, Lordship. The respondents here were others also. The MECL were also involved, Lordship. So, on this, Lordship, my clients had thought that they will be getting that. So, they had readily agreed to give away their lands for the development. They are not against the development, Lordship. But the only thing is that, Lordship, this has been only on the verbal agreement. There has never been in writing. They have made various representations saying that at least give us in writing, and or the least you can do is you can come and survey the land and then tell us how much you are going to take the land.
What amount of land?
It is the land is, Lordship. It is the line will be passing through now. At the present, there is all betel nuts and all. They are plantation of betel nuts. This is in Nongthomai, Lordship, in Ribhoi district.
Okay.
And Lordship, till today they had already started also to cut down the trees and all, but they have never surveyed the land. Neither have they compensated. Neither a formal agreement has been executed, Lordship, till date. But suddenly, to their utter surprise, Lordship, suddenly they receive a letter that is via
What is this agreement?
This agreement, Lordship, this was a draft agreement that was told to be made, Lordship. But this was not executed.
So you mean to say from their side nothing has been forthcoming at all?
Nothing, sir.
Now do you just your case is that they're just going to take over the land without any due process?
Without being compensated, without having a verbal proper.
They have set up the towers now.
They have not. They started. And that is what, Lordship. What we are challenging is this, Lordship. Now the letter that the Deputy Commissioner, that is the respondent number 2, suddenly sends a letter that is also not with
Where is that?
It's the last annexure, Lordship, annexure 12, that is page 79.
Yeah. You donated the land free of cost.
Yes, Lordship, because that was the agreement that they had said that verbally that was made. That is why we made the various communications with them, Lordship, but that was not replied to us. And in fact, in the
This is a general letter, this one.
yes, Lordship, but then they said they will start the construction from the 17th. When we have not a say with the respondent number 2, Lordship.
Who's appearing for the respondents?
I'm appearing for the state. Respondent number 1 and 2.
Who's appearing for power grid? Has the work started? Yes. Yes, has a yes.
Representing correspondent number 2, power.
Yes.
Lordship, if Lordship comes to page 27 of the petition, Annexure 4.
Yes. Right.
Lordship, this is the type copy of the annexure they have reproduced. It very categorically and clearly reads out that the compensation which they will be paid as per the government policy of 2020. Now, Lordship, this is the government policy which they have adopted the 2003 guidelines which were put by the Union Ministry for payment of compensation. The second aspect that, and this letter at the very bottom goes on to read, Lordship, that pertaining to employment there is no provision applicable for right of way.
Okay. Yes.
The issue at hand, Lordship, is direction and stringing of the towers.
No, the only thing is that forget about other things, that at least some kind of preliminary assessment should be done with regard to the area of land required and how much compensation
they are going to. Nothing has been done, Lordship.
That's all.
Lordship, it has been done.
What is the amount? What is the amount? What is the amount they are due?
They have no offer. Till now we do not know the offer also, Lordship.
Lordship, the payment as per the policy would be 100% of the area that is covered under the tower base.
Okay, heard MSSK Nongrum issue notice. You just file an affidavit, yes. SK Nongrum, counsel for the petitioner, issue notice. Mr. E-Movement, right? Accept notice is present, GA is present, accept notice on behalf of respondents number 1 and 2. Yes, Mr. N. Kera with so and so is for number 3. U for MECL and MS. You give no copy. Hi Lalu for 4 and 5. Stop. The grievance, like paragraph repression, is that without the grievance repression, the repression is contended that without due process of law, her land situated at
Nongthomai
sought to be taken over for erection of towers by the respondents number 3, 4 and 5. Stop. Accordingly, this is matter after 10 days for affidavit for instructions. Yes, you cover instructions. You've written instructions or affidavit?
Lordship, at the present, at least this land should not be, the construction should not
start. No, whatever
Lordship.
it is, you'll be, there's nothing that cannot be rectified, even if they take it up. Because if it's a right of way, if the transmission line is going, you can't just stop when one in town.
That is what they are saying, right of way, Lordship. But if Lordship goes to the minutes of the
let them
meeting,
file, you see what they have to say. Yes. Don't worry, no harm will be done. It's not that you already come to the court. Yes.
Highly obliged, Lordship.
You file the affidavit.
May this item move on?
Please, Lordship. Lordship, I take some more time to argue this case because there are act, Lordship, the minimum date Meghalaya government, as per the law, labor department, they supposed to classify the 3 things: semi-skilled, skilled worker, and then and also the skill and semi-skilled worker, Lordship. And then after working for some years, at least for 25 years, they supposed to upgrade to the 3 level classified. They have classified 3, that is skill and semi-skill and skill worker, semi-skill worker, Lordship. Then they thereafter, or they should give, they supposed to give the benefit of that status, Meghalaya regular casual worker, that scheme, then they're supposed to provide it, Lordship. But then this petitioner, they have been there since they have worked more than 30 years. And then during that time, neither this scheme were never applied to the petitioner, Your Lordship. That's the case, Your Lordship. So last time I was given a chance to get the instruction. However, I'm looking for this. There is one minimum wages act, also some judgment, and also regarding this, there is one act also passed in the labor department where they have classified this one. So on the basis of that, only this the Meghalaya regular casual worker, that scheme also will be applicable to the petitioner. And then Lordship, in my learned friend has filed the affidavit in the annexure, the para 7. He has admitted, may I just read, this is very important point which he has mentioned. He has admitted that, just I will read it, that he stated in the para 7 page 3, Lordship, in his affidavit in opposition, and saying the respondent stated the Honorable Court in white order so and so and so in the petition has directed
the same matter where you're not covered by that order.
Yes. No. I'm not on that.
You're not going to get any.
Not going to get, Lordship. Just let me just complete, Lordship. What I'm trying to make my point. Here, he has stated that state respondent to consider and to give petitioners the said matter wages under the scheme, that my learned friend has to say under which scheme he is talking about. The scheme is there. He has admitted. He said, Lordship, under the scheme to which they were entitled to.
See, Mr. Somebody remember correctly. These people were recruited at Meghalaya Civil Task Force, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now, certain set of people, they had retired prematurely. Then they had come for their retirement benefits, correct? And then the matters before this court went up the Supreme Court. Then there was a compromise between those number of petitioners who came before the court with the government, where there was a small package done for them, and that money was distributed to them. You cannot avail of the same. You cannot expect to have the same. And number two, most importantly, you've retired in due course. It's not a question of premature retirement or you took VRS or whatever.
No, Lordship, Lordship,
where do you stand?
My stand is different, Your Lordship. I have stated. Of course, I stated that I have no connection with the other.
You do not.
I'm claiming. Not
claiming
for that. Not claiming for that. I'm only saying that as per the act, I also supposed to get, which I have earlier mentioned in that this one, as per the labor department, they are supposed to clarify as per the task force act I have been serving, and what work I have been serving, that is in the description in the act itself, that all this work I have been doing for many years. Then
you're entitled to pension.
No, we are not entitled for the pension. I'm not claiming for the pension also, Lordship.
After retired 58 years, you're over.
Yes, sir.
Very sad what to do.
No, my claim is
they want to claim any relief or not, it's too late in the day. They've retired long back.
No, there is no bar, Lordship. Where is the bar? If there is a scheme.
There's no scheme.
No, that I will establish, Lordship. Only give me one chance.
No chance.
Lordship, see, they supposed to give me. They supposed to. It is admitted fact that skilled worker also they have. There are 3 classified work.
Now you're going to go for arrears in the payment that your deceased husband got. Is that your case now? Since the wives and daughters of these people have come, apart from some people retired.
Some of course are there.
Yes, some of them have died. Now are you
only
advocating by this case that that at that time when my husband was engaged on some time he was not paid minimum wages, and so you're going to
not in that line, because that what I have making submission is that this labor department is supposed to upgrade.
Let's see your prayer. Come. We'll go by your prayer, your pleadings that I hear. Okay. Where's your prayer? Yes. Page
21, my lord.
Page 21.
Page 20 to 21. Yes.
Where is that? See, Memorandum 6996. That is the RCW scheme.
Lordship.
How can you implement it now after you retired?
Exactly.
Those I have stated that they are supposed to upgrade me to that.
Where is that in the prayer?
I have read it that.
Where is that in your pleadings? Let's see.
The mandatory authority direction should not be issued directing the respondent to implement.
Okay, forget your prayer. And if it's indicated in the pleadings, maybe we can mold the relief if we entitled to anywhere in the pleadings. Is it there? Just see. Show the court.
I think there's para 12 also I have mentioned, Lordship.
Para 12, okay.
Para 12 and 13.
That's the mention above. The petitioner have not approached the state response competent court for grant of scheme or to implement a memorandum so and so. After 2-3 years from the years of retirement, approach for this court and a further petition number so and so. It was withdrawn liberty. Not by the order have allowed liberty to withdraw henceforth. Where?
Para 13, Lordship, I just read that the petitioners and these employees who are working as a casual worker pioneers in different platoon, and after working as a pioneer since for the past 25 to 30 years, they were retired.
What does the scheme say? Come to the scheme. Have you annexed the scheme?
Lordship, I have annexed, Lordship.
Where is it say?
That is page 29. Then my case is that page 30. Para 4, Lordship.
Page
30.
Okay.
This is a type copy. There's a serial number 4 is there, Lordship. There.
Yes.
Any RCW intended to leave on appropriate basis on the rate and so for every 15 days send back work as a lead.
Yes. Where does it say? Only leave of absence, that means value and service. You're entitled to, suppose you're a female, if maternity leave, you're entitled to leave. You'll get festival advance if you work more than 5 years. Another thing, Mr. Sama, is that how will this Meghalaya Civil Task Force Act apply to you? Is that applicable to you?
It's applicable to me, Lordship.
What does it say about your service conditions?
The Meghalaya Civil Task Force.
Yes.
Annexure 1 to page 23. Yes, describe it everything, Lordship.
Yes.
I just read it. Particularly the section 3, 4, that the enrollment, and 6. That's 6, Lordship.
Now, what is
the following shall be the duties.
Read 4 and 2. Read section 4 plus 2. What is the entitlements? Service entitlements.
There shall be paid to each member of the force such monthly salary, remuneration, and or honorarium as may be prescribed.
Yes. So, where does it say about that? Now, who is entitled to be enrolled in this Meghalaya Civil Task Force?
Here, even those person, section 3 says even those who are volunteer themselves also can be enrolled.
Yes. So you are enrolled as pioneers, okay? Right. Yes. So what rights do you think has been, what have they done that is which is under the act which has not been given to
page 34 where may I just read it, the page 34 last where I
see why this court's taking pains to hear you, because you ask some instructions, because see, what kind of case can you make out? Which way have you been deprived? RCW won't apply to you. You enroll under the Meghalaya Civil Task Force Act. This RCW applies only to casual workers who are appointed and who have been given the benefit of their long years of service. And the benefits also are when they're in service. And when they retire, the post dies with them. Nothing is continuous. So RCW will not apply to you. You are appointed under the Meghalaya Civil Task Force Act. There you can subject yourself for enrollment if you fit the conditions as they prescribe, and you'll be paid in honorarium or some monthly allowance or salary, whatever. What more do you have to say?
Page 36, the Lordship, there's just where the court has made an observe that Lordship there.
Page 36.
Para 5 is there. Whatever the case may be, since they have been working for the
This order is gone.
This order
is not enforced anymore.
But actually, the Lordship even in
This order went on appeal. Okay.
But this
Traveled
order
up to the Supreme Court, and then there was a compromise between the petitioners who were there and the government. So since they were retired before time, they hadn't superannuated, so they were given a package and distributed to those people only.
But then
then what?
The Supreme Court has not set aside this one. Only that is only compromise.
Everything merges. There's a compromise. Suppose there's a compromise between you and Mr. Varachaji regarding something. Okay, maybe before he gives you undertaking, like, I'll do this. You compromise now. Will you still say, but you give undertaking, give me 5 rupees after you compromise? Does that stand to reason?
Even then also, Lordship.
Even then does not arise also. We'll dispose it off. Let Mr. P.T. Sangmalan, counsel to the petitioner, and Mr. K.B. Varachaji was the government advocate. Yes, the petitioners were the petitioners. Some of them were appointed in 1977. They retired before the scheme came to being also.
In fact, my lord, they have retired even before
before
the batch of those petitioners where the compromise were entered into. My lord, they have retired well before that also.
Yes. The petitioners and legal representatives of deceased. The petitioners, how to word it? The petitioners, number 1 to 19, they're still alive.
Yes, Lordship. 1 to 19 alive.
Who engaged as the petitioners number 1 to 19.
Yes.
And number 20-25.
20-25. That daughter and
wives and daughters.
Yes, Lordship.
I'll put it this way. The petitioners by way of instituted application are seeking a mandamus for implementation of the regular casual workers scheme 996 with regard to the services rendered while being engaged in the Meghalaya
Civil Task
Force stopped. Next paragraph. It appears from the cause. It appears that petitioners number 1 to 19 were by 1 to 19. I'm sorry. It appears that 1 to 19 they were engaged as
they were
as pioneers.
Lordship.
Well,
yes.
Casual workers appointed as casual workers. They were engaged in not casual workers. They engaged in so 1 to 19 and 20 to 25 are the wives and daughters, legal representatives of the deceased persons who also were engaged as casual employees in the Meghalaya Civil Task Force. Next paragraph. Though the petitioners have since retired, and many have deceased, it has been contended on behalf of the petitioners that no retirement benefits have been afforded to them in spite of their long years of service. Did you mention about the other order of the Supreme Court here? Have you mentioned it?
I think I have mentioned. I have not mentioned.
Problem? I'm a court to them in spite of long years of service, and as such, the respondents are liable to be directed to consider the service rendered by them in the Mega Civil Task Force and for grant of suitable pension benefits, pensionary benefits as admissible. It has further been contended that in this aspect, the RCW scheme of 1996 should be made applicable. Should be applicable to enable the petitioners to avail of any benefits that may accrue to them. Mr. Next line. On behalf of the State Respondent, Kiwara Shaji has submitted that the case of the petitioners will not fall within the scheme in as much as they were recruited on volunteering under the Meghalaya Civil Task Force Act. And I'll make submissions for you, and enrollment and remuneration is as permissible has been provided in section 4 of the Meghalaya Civil Task Force Act 1974. Asaji submits that no case has been made out for grant of any relief as prayed, and the writ petition liable to be dismissed. Upon accounts of the parties, or after hearing the accounts of the parties and examining the materials on record, it is noted that the writ petitioners, as also the deceased, both the deceased employees and the writ petitioners were appointed as pioneers in the Meghalaya Civil Task Force. As task force, and are governed by the conditions of service as given therein. Though a case has not been made out with regard to applicability of the regular casual workers scheme, it is noted that the same will not be applicable in view of the fact that the same applies to persons who are appointed purely on a casual basis and not under any act or a scheme. In this view of the matter, no case was made out for any relief by evidence and petition, and the same is accordingly dismissed. However, no orders to cause.
What's the last lordship?
Yes.
Item number 2.
Please, Lordship. Lordship, in the last occasion, we were supposed to file our rejoinder affidavit, Lordship. But however, Lordship, we got an information from the parties saying that they're not well, Lordship. So we humbly pray for...
Who's not well?
The petitioner, Lordship. The person who's supposed to come and sign.
How many times you've prayed for time?
Lordship, after receiving all the affidavit, this is the third time, Lordship.
Okay, list the matter for hearing after 2 weeks. In the meanwhile, petitioner will file rejoinder.
After 2 weeks, Lordship.
After 2 weeks, come for hearing, but file rejoinder in the meanwhile. Yes, so and so and so.
Highly obliged.
Item number 3.
Lordship. Lordship, in this matter, we've sent the affidavit for approval.
What's the contempt about?
Contempt about His Honorable Court, Lordship, has directed the respondent to release the DCRG within 6 weeks from the date of presentation of the order. But till then, the respondent has not complied, Lordship.
Your Lordship, on the last occasion, I had made a submission that the service records had to be reconstructed, Your Lordship. So I will bring that by way of an affidavit, and the affidavit has been sent for approval, Your Lordship. So I pray for 1 week time, Your Lordship, to file the affidavit.
1 week for a time granted as prayed by the respondent. Just thereafter also.
Obliged.
Highly obliged, Lordship.
4.
Lordship, respondent number 1 and 3 are yet to file the affidavit, Lordship. Respondent 2 and 4 have already filed.
1 and 2 have filed.
1 and 3, Lordship, have not filed. 2 and 4 has filed.
No, we don't understand why 2 and 4. 1 and 2 was a Kharmi. Where was the Kharmi?
So the respondent number 2, I have filed the affidavit, Lordship.
1?
The respondent number 1, Lordship, he has contacted me over the phone, but he has not turned up to give me the reply till now.
So what should you do? Ask for his personal appearance? Yes?
Yes, I have explained to the respondent number 2 also to inform him.
That won't do. It's a contempt application. You are appearing for whom, Mr. Nompure?
3 and 4, Lordship.
You're not filing affidavit?
In respect of 4, I've already filed because he's the present Sardar headman. Now 3, he's the ex-headman, Your Lordship.
But even ex-headman, but that time was action.
No, because the affidavit was filed by the respondent number 4 in the
last case also. Then you strike him off. Is he a necessary party?
He's not necessary party, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Necessary? Is necessary or not?
It's not.
Do you attribute any contemptuous action on the part of number 3?
No, sir. We have implemented him because
so you implemented him why?
He is the current.
He has done what?
Lordship.
You read the brief before appearing. Yes. What has he done?
Respondent number 3, Lordship. He is the ex-headman, Lordship. So at that time, I think he is the.
No, do you attribute any action on his part which is contemptuous? He might be ex-headman, he might be current headman, so. But if he has not done anything to invite contempt, then he'll not be necessary party. But did he do anything?
The pleadings are silent, and there's nothing.
There's nothing, Lordship, but we will strike his name off, Lordship.
Then counsel with the petitioner prays that the. What are your instructions from her? Yes, what do you have to say?
The High Court order was not complied by him actually during
by
that
him.
time.
Okay. Then
number 3 is the ex-headman.
So
number 4
contempt
is
by person.
Because it was.
It's not by office.
It was last year.
Lordship, when the affidavit was filed in the petition, the respondent number 4 was filed had filed the affidavit.
He had taken over as headman that time.
Lordship?
He had taken over as headman that time.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Then you file affidavit saying that I was not a headman point of time. If you are not done anything wrong, file a
short affidavit.
Number 1 file. 2.
Number 2 I have filed. And the name of this petitioner from the Rancourt block, it has been deleted, Lordship. And in the from that other block, it has been resumed.
It has been resumed, Lordship.
So?
Lordship, there's no contempt.
There's no contempt in this case, Your Lordship. In fact, it's supposed to come to the village because as per the...
You take instructions.
We'll take instruction, Lordship.
They're supposed to approach the village.
Affidavits have been filed on behalf of respondent number 2 and 4. So who submit that the order has been complied with as the petitioner's name has been removed from Rani Court in RD block and has been entered in Motion Road in RD block. Yes. This after 2 weeks. Instructions.
Item number 5.
Please, Lordship. Yeah, neither government nor the private respondent, they are filing the affidavit. Actually, the government and also the private respondent, those respondents, they have filed the affidavit service also on the last occasion. They have received the notice. It is on record. None is appearing. And the government was asked to file the affidavit on the last occasion.
In the course of the day, Lordship.
What about 4 and 5?
Yes, they appear, but they have received.
They have not appeared.
No, they have received, but they are not appearing, Lordship.
Who is 4 and 5?
They are the main respondent actually, Lordship. Because private respondent, you make a complaint.
MS Ilengwa for respondent 1, 2, 3 submits the affidavit will be filed in the course of the day. So after the service, next one has been filed indicating service notice upon respondents number 4 and 5. None is entered in their behalf today. This is the matter after 2 weeks for rejoinder to affidavit of 1 and 2 if any, and for appearance of 4 and 5. It gives
Lordship.
one more chance.
Lordship.
Item number 6.
Lordship, on behalf of respondents 1 to 4, I'll be filing my affidavit in the course of the day.
Yes, so what about this act of vandalism and harassment? You're still in, you're waiting for the
village. Yes. Lord, as per my instruction, Your Honor, Your Lordship, the facts has been twisted in this instance case.
No vandalism?
No, Your Honor.
No harassment?
No, Your Lordship. Actually, they are still in the village and they are alleging that we are ostracized them, but they continue to derive various benefits. We are willing to give them residential certificate. They are enjoying the government schemes, be it Nerga or be it Jal Jeevan or be it ration card. They are there, Your Lordship.
You file affidavit? Have you filed affidavit?
I'll be filing because
you
actually it's ready, Lordship.
You file it, we'll close it.
We're disputing that, Your Lordship.
No, that's what. Let them file affidavit. Let them come an affidavit. You dispute that, you have every right to dispute it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Course of the day filing it. MSZ in home country, Leonard J. Submits after on behalf of respondents number 1 to 4 shall be filed. 1 to 4 will be filed course of the day. Stop, Mr. Jishala. When will you be filing it?
After we
submit the after on behalf of number 5 in the week. List thereafter and so and so.
All right, ma'am.
Item 7.
Yes, MS Colney. Where's the affidavit?
We have just received the instruction, my lord. So if the instructions are proper, my lord, we'll be able to file affidavit for the next date.
Further 2 weeks time as praise granted to the Leonard GA for affidavit. Near thereafter and so on.
8.
Please, Lordship, I beg. Sometime I may be given 2 weeks time to file my counter, Your Lordship, in this case.
What's the matter about?
Your Honor, the petitioner here had placed a representation before respondent number 2 for change and modification of the ST certificate of my adopted son, Your Lordship. So Your Lordship, they had given a reply to the representation.
We have already issued a ST certificate to the adopted son, but now they wanted to change their middle name. That is the Miller. We say that then we have asked them to submit by way of this. We have provided a format.
Change what from Frankie Nongspoon to Frankie Miller. What's so difficult about that?
That's what, because the Miller, what we are saying, the Miller is not a local. It is a noun. It's an outsider. So because we have already issued the ST certificate at tribal, but when can the tribal?
No, that makes no sense. Suppose someone wants to name his son James Bond, so what?
But what happens is that
but the title is most important. If he's Nongspoon, Nongspoon. It can be any name.
Now, but our contention is that because the Miller is another title, can there be the two titles in a ST certificate of a local? Yes, that is the issue.
You mean to say that he can't take? He's taking the father's name.
We have already given. We have already given.
Your Lordship, I am the adoptive mother of Master Frankie Nongspoon, and Mr. Miller is my.
He adopted you, or you adopted the daughter?
We adopted the.
Then yes,
apologies.
Not that your adopted mother. Yes. Yes.
Lordship, Mr. Nigel Balfour Miller is my husband, Your Lordship, the petitioner's husband. So we just want to add that into his name since he's the legal adoptive father at the moment, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, at page 33 or Annexure 6, Your Lordship.
Have you seen this?
Lordship, this is where the main contention is that, Your Lordship, where they have instructed us to apply for the same through the online mode, and the same is not available, Your Lordship. There's no provision, especially online.
Yeah, there's some problem with this because suppose you want a fresh Shield Tribe certificate also to change if a change of surname. Suppose it's issued in 1978 or something. You can't change it now. There's no system for correction of your name, something like that. I think at some cases I've seen it. Anyway, when you file affidavit,
they've given 2 weeks.
It takes the middle name. What is there?
Now that if that be then the Crown Member Court has to give their no objection certificate.
Your Lordship,
so for that they have not.
It's not a question. See, it's not a question of a new clan or something. He's Nongspung only.
There's no change per se, Your Lordship.
No
And
change.
even in the Act as well, there's no mention of saying such documents are
Mr.
required.
HFRAM prays for that for the 2 weeks time for affidavit. File it.
Yes, I'll do that.
Interesting.
Your Lordship.
Highly
obliged.
Item number 9.
May I please, Your Lordship? Your Lordship, in this case, we are yet to receive instruction from the university, so I'm praying for 3 weeks.
What's the matter about?
A fixation, Your Lordship.
Pay fixation.
Lordship, this is for the condonation of the forced leave, Lordship. There was a, they had prayed, my petitioner had prayed for a condonation of those leave.
Okay. Yes, how much time?
3 weeks time, Your Lordship.
MSS Salam Vice Mr. S and prays for the 3 weeks time for affidavit. Just said after also.
Highly obliged, Lordship.
Hearing. Item 13.
May it please your lordships. In fact, my lord, this matter was heard at length. Lordship, anyway, my lord, I am ready, your lordships. But thereafter, my lord, the government lawyer, almost after conclusion, my lord, at the concluding stage of his submission, my lord, he sought time to file an additional affidavit. Lordship granted him time. Ultimately, he has filed, my lord. So, my lord, I will refresh my lords, my lords. I won't take much. He's here. He will do it, my lord. Because on the last occasion, my lord, he has made a commitment that he will do it today. There's a lot of adjournment I may sought. No, my lord.
This matter was last heard on 12th of May, 23.
Exactly. The hearing was almost concluded. At that point, my lord, he sought time, my lord, to file an additional affidavit. And he filed an additional affidavit, my lord. I'll show lordship, there is nothing much on the additional affidavit. Where is he? He's coming. My lord, this is basically an issue, my lord, pertaining to, my lord, increment for movement of teachers, my lord, from stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2 to stage 3, your lordships.
He's in.
My lord, petitioners, my lord, at relevant time, my lord, they were assistant professor, your lordships.
Very today.
My lord, because he has sought not only once, my lord, number of times. Last time he committed that he will do it.
Last night he last
you.
No.
Last time, your lord.
Last occasion I filed the affidavit, my lord.
I heard last night.
No. Last occasion, my lord, he committed that he would do it. He will not seek further adjournment. Lordship will see the audition. No, how many adjournments?
It is all between. See, we expect the members of the bar to have a very high code of honor.
In fact,
I had taken
among you all,
I had taken 2 occasions, my lord, adjournment for filing of the affidavit, which I filed on the last occasion, my lord. That is it.
My lord, I am ready. I'll start.
You ready? Yes, let him start.
He's ready. No problem. No, my lord, this is a case, my lord, what happened here, my lord, following the 6th Central Pay Commission report, my lord, as accepted by the Government of India, the Ministry of Human Resource Development, my lord, as it was then, now it is called perhaps, my lord, Ministry of Education or something like that, they formulated a scheme, lordship. Formulated a scheme, my lord.
How many petitions are here?
3, my lord.
He had some quarrel with that. He said that.
He is saying, my lord,
that they come from
cause of action. There should have been separate period. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. I'll satisfy your lordship. Now, my lord, following the 6 CPC, your lordships, the MHRD formulated a scheme, my lords, revising the pay scale and other condition of service of the teachers of central and deemed universities. Central and deemed universities, my lord. And that letter, my lord, this is a very long letter. Relevant part I have annexed to your lordships at page 32, my lord. My entire case is founded on these documents.
On this,
yes, on this scheme.
This is a letter. This is a memorandum. What is this appendix?
Well, I'll come. That confusion, my lord. Normally, my lord, when the letter was issued, my lord, it was not issued as an appendix. This was just the scheme circulated to all the central university, and there is a stipulation in the schemes.
What's this in appendix and a letter?
I'll just come to that. And there is a stipulation, my lord, in the letter that ultimately these will be complied with, and these will be made into rules by the UGC. This will be, my lord, in consonance with the requirement or whatever provision laid down in the scheme, in this letter, rules would be framed. Now, subsequently, what the UGC did, my lord, in exercise of the power of rule-making power, they formulated a rule, my lord. And in the rule, my lord, they incorporated this letter as Appendix 1. So, it ultimately became a part of that rules.
The rules were framed after that?
Yes, your lordships. I have submitted a copy, my lord, that spiral binding copy. So, initially, it was not an appendix, just a letter.
Okay.
Well, now, my lord, in this letter, it says, your lordship, if I can just, the opening paragraph, if I can read it, this is dated 31st December 2008.
Yes.
I am directed to say,
one second.
lordship, I am directed to say that the government of India have decided, after taking into consideration the recommendation made by the University Grant Commission, UGC, based on the decision taken at this meeting of the Commission held on 7 to 8 October 2008 to revise the pay scale of teachers on the Central University. The revision of pay scale of teachers shall be subject to various provisions of the schemes of revision of pay scale as contained in this letter and regulation to be framed by the UGC. My lord, apparently when this was issued, my lord, in this line, no regulation was framed by them. So, my lord, this is referring to a future tense, your lordship. UGC in this behalf, in accordance with the scheme given below. So here also, my lord, because they have raised that point in their additional affidavit, here is saying that it should be as part the provision contained in this scheme. They are saying whatever has been laid down is a scheme, this letter. And UGC will frame in future to be framed by the UGC in consonance with the provision laid down in this scheme. Yes. Now, my lord, now your lordship can, my lord.
Yes.
Now your lordship can take it. I made a prayer in my writ petition. Since it is voluminous, I am not annexing. I will place the rules. And in fact, my lord, last occasion, my learned friend also complained that he did not have a copy. So that was served on him also. And one copy I have furnished your lordship.
Yes, yes, this is the one.
Yes,
this
is the,
on the minimum qualification.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, my lord, the entire your lordship's letter, which has been appended, my lord, in the rules, and that rule is, my lord, called, if your lordship come to page after the covering, the next page, that is 7848. 7848. In the beginning, right in the beginning, my lord. We start from 7848.
Okay.
Lordship has got it.
Yes.
Well, short title, application and commencement.
Yes.
These regulation may be called the University Grant Commission, within bracket, minimum qualification for appointment of teachers and other academic staff in universities and colleges and other measures for maintenance of standards in higher education, regulation 2010. So, my lord, because we will have to refer to these rules frequently, my lord, I will refer to as regulation of 2010. Now, if your lordship come to my lord, page 7921. 7921.
This is 7848, you said, no?
7921. Lordship.
Yes, I'm getting it. Wait. Coming to it.
Well.
Okay, 7921.
Well, appendices. Now, this is the appendices to these rules, your lordships. Now, appendix 1. Lordship will see, kindly take note, appendix 1. That is, my lord, the scheme of the revision of teacher. Below, if you look, Government of India, Ministry of Human Resource Department, Higher New Delhi, dated 31st December 2008. So entire letter has been appended to these rules as Appendix 1. Entire. Now next page, my lord, the same letter start. The entire letter is here. That is from the next page, my lord.
Okay.
7922.
Now next year.
Yes. 7922. Now, my lord, this is normally, as I have read out the opening paragraph, is say for the central universities. Now, if I can take, my lord, to 7932, the letter continues, clause 8. Clause 8 or para 8, your lordship can call. So I'm sorry, my lord, not this thing. I am take your lordships to clause 9, my lord, clause 9p at page 7935.
I think it would be better we made a small compilation, you know, like of all these. When dictating judgment will get lost. 7935.
7935. P. That is, my lord, para 9 clause P.
Para 9
clause P.
9 P.
My lord.
Okay.
Applicability of the scheme. Applicability, I just read it. The scheme shall be applicable to teacher and other equivalent cadre of library and physical education in all central universities and colleges thereunder, and the institution deemed to be universities whose maintenance expenditure is met by the UGC. The implementation of the revised pay scale shall be subject to acceptance of all conditions. Lord, you will need, my lord, all conditions are to be complied with. Condition mentioned in this letter, as well as regulation to be framed by the UGC in this behalf. Universities implementing the scheme shall be advised by the UGC to amend their relevant statutes ordinance in line with the UGC regulation within 3 months from the date of issue. Next, my lord, subclause 2. The scheme does not extend to the cadre of registered finance officer, etc. My lord, it's not very relevant. Lordship, then, my lord, the next page, subclause 3, 4, 5, my lord. 5 is very relevant. 5.
Okay.
I just read it, my lord. The scheme may be extended to the universities, colleges, and other higher educational institutions coming under the purview of state legislature, provided the state government wish to adopt and implement the scheme subject to the following terms and conditions. The case starts from here, your lordships. Option.
This is 9P5.
Yes.
Para 9P5.
9.
Okay.
Roman 5.
Your case starts from here.
Yes, sir. Now, these gives an option to the state. It's not mandatory. An option has been given to the state. You too can implement this. Subject to the following condition. Now, what are these conditions, my lord? A. Financial assistance from the central government to state government opting to revise pay scale of teachers and other equivalent cadre covered under the scheme shall be limited to the extent of 80% of the additional expenditure involved in the implementation of the revision. B. The state government opting for revision of pay shall meet the remaining 20% of the additional expenditure from its own sources. C. Financial assistance referred to subclause A above shall be provided for a period from 1/1/2006 to 31/3/2010. D. The entire liability on account of revision of pay scale, etc. of the university.
To say that if they opt for it, then for the first few years, 4 years, state government, central 80% will pay, and after 2010, entire burden on state government.
Exactly. Okay. So, the entire liability on account of revision of pay scale, etc. of the university and college teachers shall be taken over by the state government, opting for revision of pay scale with effect from 1/4/2. This is very clear, man. E. Financial assistance from the central government shall be restricted to revision of pay scale in respect of only those posts which were in existence and had been filled up as on 1/1/2006. Lordship. Now, my lord, F. The state government, taking into consideration other local conditions, may also decide in their discretion to introduce scales of pay higher than those mentioned in this scheme, and may give effect to the revised bands scales of pay from a date on or prior to 1/1/2006. However, in such cases, details of modification proposed shall be furnished to the central government, and central assistance shall be restricted to the pay bands as provided by the central government and not to any higher scale of pay fixed by the state government. So this is basically, my lord, liberty was given to the state government here, that, my lord, central government has implemented it with effect from 1/1/2006. Now they have given a liberty to the state government. If you want change of date, permissible, you can do it. Second thing, if you want to give something higher than what we have prescribed, you are liberty at it. But if you give a higher pay scale, that expenditure we will not bear. That you will have to bear from your own exchequer, but you will have to inform us. So this is what it is saying, my lord. Now next, G.
Now come to E. Financial assistance from the central government shall be restricted to revision of pay. Respect only those post existence have been filled up as on 1/1/2006.
Yes, your lordship.
That means they paid to 80% that time. 2010 stops. Okay.
Now, my lord, the G, the payment of central assistance for implementing this scheme is also subject to the condition that, lordship will take note, that entire scheme of revision of pay scale together with all the condition to be laid down by the UGC, to be laid down, my lord. UGC by way of regulation and other guidelines shall be implemented by the state government and universities and college coming under jurisdiction as a composite scheme without any modification except in regard to the date of implementation and scale of pay mentioned here. So here is very categorical. You cannot deviate from the condition laid down by us. Except you can go for a higher pay scale than what we have prescribed. You can deviate from the cutoff date. These are the two liberty given, no other liberty given.
They have to revise.
And they have categorically made that you will have to comply with other conditions. There cannot be a deviation. And one more thing, my lord, that will come. Now, my lord, when, my lord, initially this letter was circulated, the 31st December 2008, my lord, these rules were not in existence. That's why, my lord, they have mentioned, and you will have to comply with rule to be framed. Contemplating that in future, my lord, in consonance with this provision, rule would be framed by the UGC. And ultimately, rules were framed, my lord, in 2010 and not event. Now, my lord, Government of Meghalaya, lordship will kindly take up the writ petition, my lord. Government of Meghalaya adopted this. That is at page, my lord, type copy is at page 42, your lordships. That is letter dated 23rd March 2010.
30th March.
23rd March 2010. It is from the Director of Higher and Technical Education, Government of Meghalaya, Shillong.
Yes.
Now, if I just read it, your lordships, subject revision of UGC's pay scale to all eligible teachers of government college and deficit college in the state of Meghalaya. Sir, madam, the undersigned is directed to say that the state government has ordered the adoption and maintenance of UGC norms as per the Government of India letter dated 31st/12/2008 relating to revision of pay scale, minimum qualification for appointment of teacher in colleges and other measures as mentioned in paragraph such and such of the aforesaid letter circular for the maintenance of standard of education in the state of Meghalaya. The UGC scale of pay and DA of the central government rate shall be applicable to all eligible teachers of government colleges of Meghalaya on submission of option, and age of superannuation be as applicable to the state government employees. Pay and DA of college teachers covered by the scheme shall be fixed in the revised UGC pay scale with effect from 1/1/2006. They had complied with the cut-off date of the central government. They have not deviated. Pay scale also, my lord, they have adopted the pay scale prescribed by the central government. Now, my lord, next page, if your lordship, the payment of arrear would be made as and when the resources are still available through separate notification. The above instruction shall also be extended to the eligible teacher of deficit college in state of Meghalaya, and status quo would be maintained in respect of age of superannuation. This is 60 years of age. Next paragraph. The state government has decided in its discretion to fix the pay of the above mentioned categories of employees in the revised structure with corresponding academic grade pay with effect from 1st day of January 2006. The authenticated fitment table, etc., 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 my lord. Now, these things we can skip, my lord. We can come to the bottom, my lord. What was the pay scale prescribed by the central government? If your lordship comes, my lord, in the bottom, under the heading 1, general, lordship has got it.
Yes.
Below that, the Roman 1. Now, what were the pay scales available? The pay of teachers in government and deficit colleges shall be fixed according to their designation in two pay bands, 15,600 to 39,100 and rupees 37,000 to 67,000 with appropriate academic grade pay. Each pay band shall have different stages of academic grade pay, which will ensure the teacher and other equivalent cadres covered under the scheme, subject to other condition of eligibility being satisfied, have multiple opportunities for upward movement during their career. Now, here I'll explain a little bit, your lordship. Two scales were made available to teachers at that point of time. Two pay bands. One, my lord, that 15,000 to 600 to 39,100, and other is 37,400 to 67,000. Now, my lord, the designation of the teachers were also changed, my lord, after the 6 pay commissions. Before, they were known as, my lord, lecturer, in the ascending order, my lord, lecturer, reader, professor. Now, designation has been changed to assistant professor in the bottom, associate professor, professor. But so far, colleges...
No additional professor.
No. So far, my lord, state of Meghalaya in the colleges are concerned, they are yet to introduce, my lord, the post of professor. They have assistant professor
and associate.
And associate professor. So these pay band, my lord, this pay band of 15,600 to 39,100 is meant for the bottom, my lord,
assistant professor.
Assistant professor. And the other pay band, my lord, 37,400 to 67,000 mean for associate professor and also professor, perhaps in the university will be professor also. Now again, my lord, this is clarified, your lordship. Then each pay band, my lord, there will be, my lord, scope for movement to different stage of academic grade pay.
Yes.
There was a scope, for example, my lord, because I am concerned with, my lord, assistant professor. Assistant professor. So, my lord, I will concentrate on the pay band of 15,600 to 39,100, my lord. There were, my lord, 3 different AGPs, my lord, for movement. Entry level start with 6,000.
Okay.
Thereafter, my lord, for a person, provided he is eligible, having the requisite qualification and the length of service, he can qualify and move to the next stage, that is 7,000.
The 3 AGPs?
3. Initial entry, my lord, 6,000. Then next is, my lord, 7,000. That is called movement from stage 1 to stage 2. And thereafter, my lord, to 8,000. That is called movement from stage 2 to stage 2. But these are all subject to screening.
Okay.
These I'll come, my lord. It is laid down here only in the rules. Now, your lordship, come to page 46. Same letter, my lord, 46. Because I am concerned with the additional increment. Lordship will come to page 46, my lord. Clause 3 of para 7. Under para 7, my lord, clause 3. If I can just read it, my lord.
Yes.
The number of additional increment on placement at higher stage of AGP shall be as per the existing scheme of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher pay scale. However, in view of the considerable rise in the effective pay between the two pay bands, there shall be no additional increment on movement from pay band 15,600 to 39,100 to the pay band of rupees 37,400 to 67,000. Well, we need to understand this, otherwise there may be confusion. Now, it say there would be additional increment for movement from one academic grade pay to another academic grade pay. That is very clear. However, they said there would not be any increment, my lord, for moving from the pay band of 15,600 to 39,100 to the higher payment of 37,400 to 67,000. Now, what it means, because they say there is a substantial increase already, so you do not get increment for that. The reason this means what, my lord? Assistant professor, when he is promoted to the post of associate professor, he got that pay scale. That point of time, additional increment will not be available. But it is very clear and categorical, my lord, when the movement is from one academic grade pay to another academic grade, it is always available. It has to be given. Now your lordship will come to 8, fixation. The problem starts with that. Fixation of pay on promotion, placement on account of career advancement scheme benefit on or after 1st January 2006. In case of promotion, placement, upgradation from one academic grade pay to another in the revised pay structure on or after 1st January 2006, the fixation of pay of an employee will be made in accordance with the UGC notifications. But there is no scope of argument here. This is the document, my lord, of the state government. Very conscious, after deliberation they have passed this. They have ditto, my lord, this is there already in the scheme. They have ditto lifted it and endorsed it. Now they cannot say no, will not follow UGC.
Yes.
Now, my lord, I will place my facts in this backdrop, your lordships.
How are the petitions situated?
My lord, I am just coming. I have laid out a chart, my lord. If your lordship come to page 16, supported by relevant documentary evidence, my lord. Page 16.
616.
160, your lordship, of the writ petition.
Is the pleading?
Yes.
Para 8.
But this is, yes, para 8, my lord.
Okay.
This is under para 8. Relevant part is at page 16. Now, my lord, lordship has got it.
Yeah.
Now, writ petitioner number 1, my lord. Now, hard designation, my lord, in the next column. Assistant professor with effect from 1/8/2005.
Who has written?
The next column, writ petitioner, my lord.
Okay, okay.
On the top, my lord,
11, oh, sorry.
Lordship.
Assistant
Assistant professor English with effect from 1/8/2005, Shillong College. Lordship will come to the next column. Next column is, my lord, under the heading, my lord, date of placement from stage 1 to stage 2. That is from entry level 6,000.
Functional or is she was really it was she
functional.
Functional, sorry. Yes, functional.
This is after screening. What happened with that part also, my lord, to avoid the confusion, it is laid down in the UGC how it is done. There is virtually marks are given.
There is no question of qualifying.
Now there are certain qualifications, right?
Then how can it be functional?
My lord.
I mean, they have to serve how many years?
No, it depends depending on the qualification. I will come to this. Rule has provided to say, suppose person possessing PhD, then the length of service is shorter.
Yes, of course.
To qualify. If it is MPhil, the length of service is longer. If there is no professional degree yet, it will be much longer. So that also I will place, my lord.
Okay.
Now, your lordship, what happened? Her movement from stage 1 to stage 2 was made with effect from 1/8/2011. Then, my lord, further, my lord, from stage 2 to stage 3, that is from 7,000 to 8,000, was made with effect from 1/8/2016.
Okay.
Lordship. 2016. Now, similarly, if you come to the writ petitioner number 2, my lord, he is the assistant professor of political science with effect from 6/4/2007, Synod College. Now, his movement from stage 1 to stage 2 was 16/4/2013. And, my lord, from second to third stage with effect from 16/4/2018. Now, the third petitioner, my lord, who is a history professor with effect from 1/6/2008, Synod College, he got only, my lord, the movement from stage 1 to stage 2, that is with effect from 1/6/2014. Now, my lord, these are supported because he made a very casual statement, documents and all that. These are all supported by documents, my lord. The relevant order of, my lord, movement I have annexed, starting from, my lord, page 49. Lordship will come kindly to page 49. Annexure 3.
Quite type should do them really. Yes, 49.
49, my lord. Lordship will come at serial number 2.
Serial number?
Amanda B. Masomwet, English. There is a petitioner number 1.
Yes.
That is a fast movement, my lord. Date of placement from stage 1 to stage 2, 1/8/2008. Now, this is issued by the Director of Higher and Technical Education.
No, stage placement from stage 1 to stage 2 is 2011.
Lordship.
2011.
Stage 1 to stage 2.
Yes.
Yes. That is what I have stated in my thing also.
I thought you said 2009.
In my table also, my lord, saying tallies with my table. Because I prepared the table based on this. Now, your lordship will kindly come to the next page. To third, movement from second to third, your lordships, page 50 at serial number 7.
Yes.
Serial number 7, my lord. Lordship will see second to third was with effect from 1/8/2016. This is also issued by Director of Higher and Technical Educations.
Okay.
Lordship, next is the type copy. Then Lordship will come to Annexure 5.
1 second.
If your lordship come to Annexure 5, my lord, on the top, serial number 1 and 2, read petitioner number 1 and 2. Now, political science, my lord, he was given the movement from stage 1 to stage 2 with effect from 16/4/2013. Now, read petitioner number 3 was given, my lord, with effect from 1/6/2014.
The 1 and 2 are the other two petitioners.
Lordship. 1 and 2 are the 2 and 3. Read petitioner number 2 and 3.
Okay.
Now, your lordship come to the next page. Annexure 6. Serial number 2. That is the read petitioner number 2, who got 2. Now, his movement from second to third stage with effect from 16/4/2018. Lordship. And so far, the read petitioner number 3, my lord, to my information while filing until date, my lord, he got only one movement.
Okay.
My lord, that's it. Now, my lord, 2. Lordship.
Yes.
Yes. So, my lord, these are all, my lord, based on records. Now, my lord, if I can take your lordship again to the rules, and the rest all depends on this rule, what the rules say. If I can take my lord to the rules. Paragraph 8, my lord, at page 7932. 7932. Lordship has got it.
Yes.
792. My lord. Paragraph 8, increments. My lord. If your lordship come, my lord, to clause Roman 3.
Yes.
Roman 3, your lordship, this reads, the number of additional increments on placement at each higher stage of AGP shall be as per the existing scheme of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher pay scale. However, in view of considerable raise in effective pay between the two pay bands, there shall be no additional increment on movement from pay band 15,600 to 39,100 to pay band of 37,400 to 60,000. So that is, they have left it out, no increment from, for our understanding, my lord, from pay band assistant professor to assistant. That's very clear categorical, but I am not concerned with that. But it is also categorical, my lord, movement from one academic grade pay to other academic grade, there has to be an increment. And how it is to be calculated? Yes. As per the existing scheme. Now this has been further clarified, your lordships. Lordship, come to next page. 7933. 7933 on the top, my lord. Pay fixation formula. Pay pay fixation formula recommended by the 6th Central Pay Commission as accepted by the central government shall be adopted for teachers equivalent position in the. So what they are saying, pay fixation, my lord, these increments and all are added to the pay, my lord, for finally fixing the pay. So here in the pay fixation, they are saying very categorically, my lord, whatever ultimate decision on the recommendation of the CPC, 6th CPC, the central government has taken, that will apply. That will apply. Now, my lord, after the recommendation of the 6th CPC was submitted, my lord, the central government, after deliberation, my lord, they have, with certain changes and all, they have formulated rules. My lord, that is called, my lord, Central Civil Service Pay Revision Rules of 2008. The relevant part I have annexed. Now, my lord, that rule, if I can take my lord to that rule, which I have annexed. Lordship, it start from page 55.
Of writ petition.
Writ petition, man, sorry. Writ petition.
Central Service Revised Pay Scales.
Yes, madam.
Pay rule, sorry. 2008.
55.
Next year 7 starts from 54.
Lordship, I'm sorry. Well, it starts from there, your lordships, but the relevant part, my lord, these are the all explanations and all. The relevant, my lord, and effective part starts from 55. Lordship, you got it?
No, it says 29 August. See, what about this next year 7? It says memorandum explanatory to the central. Okay.
Explanation to the Central Civil Services. Rules are self-explanatory. Okay. Now, these are, my lord, certain explanation to these rules. Now, effective part, my lord, the rule starts from 55.
Okay.
55. Now, this is a by notification dated, my lord, 29th August 2008. Lordship, if I can just read it.
Yes, yes.
In exercise of the power conferred by the proviso to Article 309 and Clause 5 of Article 148 of the Constitution, after consultation with the Comptroller and Auditor General in relation to persons serving in Indian Audit and Account Department, the President hereby makes the following rules, namely, this rule may be called Central Civil Service Revised Pay Rules 2008. Now, my lord, regarding increment, my lord, lordship will come to next page, page 56, Rule 13. My lord, lordship has got it.
Yes.
I just read, my lord. Fixation of pay on promotion on or after 1/1/2006. In case of promotion from one grade pay to another in revised pay structure, the fixation will be done as follows. Number one increment equal to 3% of the sum of pay in the pay band and the existing grade pay will be computed and rounded up to the next multiple 10. These will be added to the existing pay in the pay band. The grade pay corresponding to the promotion post will thereafter be granted in addition to this pay in the payment. In case where promotion involves changes in the pay band also, the same methodology would be followed. However, if the pay in the pay band after adding the increment is less than the minimum of the higher pay band to which the promotion is taking place, pay in the pay band will be stepped to such minimum. So this is how it is to be calculated, your lordships. It has been very clearly provided. This is the mode of calculation of the increment for the purpose of fixation of 13. Now UGC regulation said how pay will be fixed. It says very clearly as on the basis of the recommendation made by the 6th CPC and as accepted by the Government of India. Now, Government of India, whatever has accepted, they formulated it into a rules. That is CCS revision of pay rules 2008, and Rule 13 is very categorically how it is to be calculated. Now, my lord, there were certain clarification also issued by the UGC. I'll take my lord. Though there is actually no scope of any confusion, because the UGC regulation and the scheme is very categorical and clear. But even then, my lord, I have annexed those clarification from the UGC. If I can take my lord to Annexure 8, page 57. Annexure 8, page 57. Lordship has got it. Now, these are the, my lord, certain clarification, my lord, on the basis of the queries raised from various departments issued by the UGC. Now, this is September 2015, your lordships. The relevant part, my lord, for my case at page 58, 58 at serial number 6.
Or are state governments empowered to exceed this one?
Yeah, exceed the regulation under local circumstances.
On the condition of.
Now, what is the answer? UGC regulations are mandatory in nature and are required to be followed in their letter and spirit without any deviation therefrom, my lord. This is very clear, categorical. And here, your lordship, my lord, I have read out, my lord, the entire letter, the relevant part of the letter by which they have adopted the MHRD scheme. They are also very consciously, they said that so far, my lord, increment is concerned, my lord, we will go as per the UGC notification. The state government is saying in this letter adopting this. Now, my lord, just as an instance, I have cited what the government of West Bengal did, because government of West Bengal also adopted these schemes, and how they have, my lord, what they have done, your lordship, at page 59, my lord, if I can take your lordship to page 59. That is a letter issued by, my lord, the Department of Education, my lord, government of West Bengal. They have adopted these schemes and how they have fixed the, my lord, increment. This is contained in this letter, your lordship. If I can take, my lord, the relevant part will be as page 62. 62, my lord. Lordship has got it.
Section of pay and promotion, placement.
Yes. Promotion on account of CS benefits on or after 1 year. In case of promotion, placement, upgradation from one academic grade pay to another in the revised pay structure on or after such and such, the pay fixation of pay on employee will be made in the following manner. One increment equal to 3% sum of the pay in the pay band and the existing academic grade pay will be computed and rounded off to the next multiple in time. So basically, my lord, they are, my lord, lifted virtually whatever has been stated in the CCS revision of pay rules 2008. They are also following it. Now, my lord, in their affidavit say we are not bound. My lord, I am not saying lordship, my lord, this court or my state of Meghalaya is bound by this. Just I am citing as an instance. They have also adopted and they are following. Because they are bound to, once you adopt, you are bound to follow it.
Just 5 minutes, sir.
Lordship.
Sorry, got back issues. Can't sit for long. Yes.
Now, your lordships, now these I have cited as an instance, my lord, the state of West Bengal, my lord, which has adopted these schemes and granted the EGC pay scale, my lord. Also, my lord, in the matter of increment, your lordships, they have adopted, your lordships, or followed, my lord, what is provided in Central Civil Service, my lord, Revision of Trade Rule 2008, my lord, Rule 13. Now, my lord, in fact, my lord, if I can take my lords to Annexure 12. Now, this is a communication between my lord, joint director.
1 second, Mr. Shah. Just note down that West Bengal.
Annexure 12,
yes.
page 80.
Analogy. Yes, yes.
Now, next I'll take my lord to Annexure 12. That's the communication between the joint director. Not a communication, my lord. The letter written by the joint director, Higher and Technical Education, to Joint Secretary, Government of Meghalaya Education Department, dated 24th August 2020. Now, my lord, before I read this letter, my lord, I have filed a number of representation. We have been promoted from stage 1 to stage 2, stage 2 to stage 3, my lord. All these things happened, your lordship, laid out in the chart. So we are asking for our increment, entitlement as per the scheme, my lord, as per the UGC regulation, my lord. They were sitting over it. And ultimately, my lord, these somehow, my lord, reached, ultimately, my lord, this is the only response we got. Now, based on our representation, my lord, considering our grievance, my lord, this letter was written and addressed to the joint secretary, by the joint secretary, by the joint director, your lordship, sorry. My lord, if I can read it. Pay anomalies arising out of fixation of teachers drawing UGC scale of pay. Madam, with reference to the subject mentioned above, I am to forward here with letters as received from Principal Synod College, Shillong, enclosing representation from such Assistant Professor, Synod College, Shillong, and Principal, Shillong College, Shillong, enclosing representation from Srimati Amanda Basomet, Assistant Professor, English, Shillong College, Shillong, along with all enclosure wherein they have pointed out anomalies in pay fixation on being promoted from one grade pay to another grade pay, and that has arisen out of non-implementation of promotional increment as envisaged in UGC Regulation 2010 and UGC Regulation 2018 and CCS Revision of Pension Rule 2008. Insofar as UGC Regulation 2010 is concerned, the following clauses clarify the pay fixation formula on promotion from one grade pay to another grade pay, except from pay band 2 to pay band 4. My lord, now they have put it.
No, why 3 to 4?
No, 3 to 4 means this is something, lordship. Pay band 3. That means the actual pay for assistant professor. That's what I have, my lord. That is 16,000 to 39,000 to that 67,000. That is an exception. That is very clear categorical. Now, clause 8b states that pay fixation formula recommended by the 6th Central Pay Commission as accepted by central government shall be adopted for teachers and equivalent position in the library and religious science. This is exactly what is there in the government scheme, my lord, letter dated, my lord, which is in appendix 1 in the regulation, clearly categorically mentioned, and they have quoted it here also. Now B, clause 8a3 says that number of additional increment on placement at each higher stage of AGB shall be as per existing scheme of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher pay scale. However, in view of the considerable rise in effective pay between the pay bands, there shall be no additional increment on movement from pay band 15,600 to 39,100 to pay band 37,400 to 67,000. C, clause of UGC regulation mentioned at A is inextricably linked to clause 13.1 CCS Revision of Pension Rules 2008. Accordingly, while fixing the pay on promotion to higher pay band, an additional increment 3% of the pay in the existing pay band is added to the existing pay in the pay band. The AGP corresponding to the promotion post will then be granted in addition to this pay in the higher pay band. Insofar as UGC Regulation 2018 is concerned, the following clause clarify the pay fixation formula on promotion from one pay level to another pay level.
Yes.
Clause 19.2 states that promotion, when an individual gets promotion, his new pay on the promotion would be fixed in the pay matrix on as follows. On promotion, the teacher on equivalent position would be given a notional increment in his or her existing academic level pay by moving him or her to the next higher cell at that level, and the pay shown in the cell would now be located in the new academic level corresponding to the post to which she has been promoted. If the cell identical with pay is available in the new level, the cell shall be the new pay. Otherwise, the next higher cell in that level shall be the new pay of the teacher or equivalent position. If pay arrived in this manner is less than the first cell in the new level, then the pay shall be fixed at the first cell in the new level. Copy and
Totally confusing.
Losh. No, this is no. This is my problem. This is for what happened. This is 7th pay. This is my lord. So far, Central Pay Revision Rule of 2008 is concerned.
Very confusing, because on promotion, teacher equivalent person would be given notional increment.
No,
his existing academic level.
No, I'm just explaining your lordship. I got it.
So we're not going from another stage, another stage. You've been given a notional increment in that level, which yes. See, anyway.
No, I'm good. My lord, we are mainly here concerned with 6th pay commission. Now, 6th pay commission, by the following 6th commission, what has been accepted by the government?
Because the thing that we're talking about is promotional increments, correct?
Promotional increments.
Suppose you're not promoted, then where does notional come in? Then?
No, that doesn't matter. So this has been referred. Lordship, kindly see, my lord. In what this is a reference to, my lord, in software uses 2018. That is after 7th pay. We are concerned with 6th.
Bother about that.
We are mainly concerned with 6th, your lordship, not 7th. This has been a reference to 7th pay and 2018. Now, in the bottom, my lord, the view of the directorate is that the teachers are well within the right to point out the anomaly as described above, since while extending the UGC pay scale, it seems that pay fixation formula also need to be followed in totality. In view of the above, the government is requested to kindly extend promotional increment while promoting the teacher of both colleges deficit in granting rates from one stage to the higher stage, except for promotion to pay band 2, pay band 3 to pay band 4 as per UGC regulation 2000. So ultimate recommendation is follow UGC regulation, give them the promotional increment as envisaged in 2018 8 rules. I am concerned with that. So that recommendation has been strongly made, my lord, quoting relevant regulation of the UGC CCS revision of revision rules, my lord, 2008.
So it recommends promotional increments. Yes.
So, my lord, this was issued in 2020. My lord, I was expecting something would be done. Nothing happened, my lord. Being, my lord, without any option, my lord, I had to come before this honorable court. Now, my lords.
Yes.
Now, if your lordship, my lordship may have some reservation, my lord, how these movements are made. This is provided in the rules, my lord. It's better for me, my lord, to place it before your lordships. If I can take my lord to clause 6.8.0. 6.8.0 is at page 7893. 7893.
7893.
Lordship.
7893. This court's copy is your copy, sir.
7, my lord, is telling.
Court's copy.
This is court's copy, my lord. I have submitted, my lord, for court's reference.
7893.
Okay. My lord.
78937 is a
6.8.0.
Okay.
6.8.0 of the regulation.
Outlining the pay scales.
Lordship, no. This says, my lord, the schedule annexed to this regulation outlined the pay scale, designation, and stages of promotion under CAS of incumbent and newly appointed teachers and equivalent position in library and physical education and sports cadre in central universities and colleges thereunder, and the institution deemed to be the universities whose maintenance expenditure is made by the UGC. Now, how the movements are made, your lordship? Lordship, kindly come to page 7910 is the schedule. He's saying it is in the schedule. Now, the schedule is at page 7910.
Schedule of movement.
Well, lordship. Now, lordship will see 1 point. This is, my lord, 1.02, my lord. 2.1 deals with assistant.
7910.
Lordship.
It's you coming to
7910, my lord. Lordship has
Right,
got
okay.
schedule. Now, this is the schedule. Now, I am concerned with the, my lord, moving to different stages of AGP, my lord, of assistant professor. Right? My lord. Now, clause 1.0 to 2.1 deals with assistant professor. So, we are only concerned with them, not others. Now, 1.0, my lord, I read. Person entering the teaching profession in universities and colleges shall be designated as assistant professor and shall be placed at the payment 3 of rupees 15,600 to 39,100.
This is the schedule for clause 6.8.0.
Lordship.
This
What?
schedule refers it flows from 6.8.0, correct?
Lordship.
And then you say 1.0 to 2.1 is assistant professors.
No, Lordship asked me what are the qualifications.
Right.
This has been prescribed. That's why I am reading it, Your Lordship. Lecturer already in the service of pre-revised pay scale
Where
of
reading from?
same 1.0 only.
Okay. Persons entering the profession.
Shall be redesignated as assistant professor with said AGP of rupees 6,000. Their CS promotion would be subject to API criteria based on PBS system norms laid out in this regulation. Now to 1.1. Assistant professor with completed service of 4 years possessing PhD degree in relevant discipline shall be eligible for moving to AGP of 7,000 provided have PhD. That means length of service required 4 years. Now, if you come, Lordship, come to the next clause 1.2. The assistant professor possessing MPhil degree or postgraduate degree in professional courses approved by the relevant statutory body such as LLM, MTech, etc. shall be eligible for AGP of rupees 7,000 after completion of 5 years as assistant professor. The length of service is higher in case of MPhil. Similarly, my lord, 1.3, the assistant professor who do not have PhD, MPhil or master degree in relevant professional course shall be eligible for AGP of rupees 7,000 only after completion of 6 years.
Weightage to PhD means weightage 4 years. Then the MPhil you have it's 5 years, and then you don't have MPhil or PhD or a master degree.
6
then
years.
It's 6 years. Okay.
6 years. Now, next come my lord 1.4, upward movement of AGP from 6,000 to 7,000 for all assistant professors shall be subject to satisfy APA norms, subject to screening. Now, 2.0, your lordship. 2.0 say about my movement to the next stage. The pay of an incumbent to the post of lecturer, that is such and such, shall be redesignated as assistant professor and shall be fixed at the appropriate stage in the payment such and such based on their present pay with AGP of rupees 7,000. Now 2.1, assistant professor with completed service of 5 years of AGP in 7,000 shall be eligible subject to other API requirement laid down by the UGC regulation to move up to the AGP of 8,000. That is means for stage 2, stage 3. So that's how, my lord, it has been done. No, that is not in question. That is not an issue also.
The basic thing is that the petitioner here, 2 petitioners have already moved to stage 3 and not been afforded this academic grade pay as well.
Third one also he moved from 1 to 2.
1 to 2, he's not he's not been given the 7,000.
When by the position of law, the rules, regulation are clear, categorical, you'll have to follow the central government. You cannot deviate, it cannot be piecemeal. For setting aside everything, my lord, even your lordship, I have taken, my lord, to the relevant part of the government of Meghalaya order by which they have adopted. In the adoption order, they have said, yes, there would be an increment. And how this increment would be done? As per the notification of the UGC.
Promotional increment will be given.
As per the,
but it's recommended. But why was it never implemented?
No, I'll just come, my lord, whatever this, I'll answer that. No, my lord, there's even the state government saying that increment will be as per the UGC notification. No, UGC notification categorically say, my lord, that appendix, which is the part of the rules, it categorically will say, as decided by the central government. Now, central government rules say, 13 say, this is the mode of working it out. Now, my lord, if I can last, my lord, I'll just conclude, my lord, so far these rules are concerned. Now, my lord, if I can kindly take my lord there, it's not 7919, my lord, regarding the increment. Again, it is mentioned in the rules also. There is an appendix, that government scheme was appended. There it is categorically mentioned. Even in the body of the rule also it has been mentioned again. 7919.
That is at 9.10.
Well, that is at 10, Your Lordship. Other terms
7,
and
9,
condition increment.
1, 9. Other
7,
terms and
9.
conditions regarding increments.
Lordship. 10.4, same thing, ditto same thing. I just want to show, my lord, that it is there in the body of the rules also. Other than the appendix, it is there. The number of additional increments on placement at each higher stage of AGP shall be as per existing schemes regulation of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher pay scale. However, in view of the considerable rise effective pay between the two pay bands, there shall be no additional increments movement from pay band 15,000 to 39,000 to pay band such and such. So they are saying the rules and regulation will be same as in the case of promotion from one pay scale to another pay scale. And that has been dealt again, my lord, with Rule 13 of the CCS revision of pay rules 2008. Now, my lords, they have initially filed an affidavit. Lordship has indicated, while I moved this petition, my lord, I was very conscious while preparing this petition. And Lordship asked me why not, they are from Shillong Collegians and why not separate petition. So, my lord, that day, my lord, prima facie, what I tried to place before your Lordship, I was very conscious while drafting this petition. So there is the issue, is this common issue, my lords. Common, all of them are assistant professor. They were movement from one stage to the another stage. UGC regulations say there should be a promotional increment, that has been denied. So a common issue involved in all cases of all these three writ petitions.
But he paid the court fees.
Yes, that's what I'll come. So, my lord, deliberately, my lord, not to strain the registry or to create unnecessary inconvenience to this court, my lord, I have joined them.
You want a common and similar order that, an adoption of the UGC rules.
And then, my lord, if I can refer to, my lord, Order 1, Rule 1. Order 1, Rule 1 is also very clear and categorical. Now, Order 1, Rule 1, my lord, say, who may join as plaintiffs, which will be guided basically by the same procedures, my lord. You say, all person may be joined in one suit as plaintiffs where A, I am not concerned. B, if such person brought separate suits, any common question of law or fact to arise. No, Lordship, here suppose I had filed 3 writ petitions. After hearing us, Lordship would have definitely ordered, I'll hear them together, because the issue is common. So, my lord, I don't think, just for the sake of, my lord, opposing it, they have taken it up. So, my lord, I don't think this is a lag to stand.
Mr.
Now, my lord,
Lordship, you have any authority?
Yeah, I think so. No, before that, other thing he is saying, my lord, he is saying that we are not bound to follow everything, the UGC regulations, all right. It's not the certain part we are following, certain part we are not following, my lord. I think, my lord, that is a very, very absurd submission when it is very clear and categorical that you cannot deviate. Only, my lord, Lordship has pointed out, my lord, they were given liberty in 2 matters, cut-off dates, and they could have granted a better pay scale than what the central government has done. So this is not the case. So far, other things, they are bound to comply, my lord. There cannot be a deviations. And this has been clarified by UGC, my lord, repeatedly said in the rules and regulations.
There's a judgment, I think. That
yeah, Lordship, I am just coming to that judgment. Last time also I referred to it.
Yeah.
You have given the list of books. Well, before I refer to the judgment, one small thing. Now, my lord, in their affidavit policy decision, my lord, it's not a matter of policy decisions. It's the question, you have adopted rules, regulation of the central government. Once you adopt, you cannot deviate. It has been clarified by the UGC. It has been committed in maturity.
Now, since when have this petitioner number 1, since inception, has not been given accounting grade pay?
She has not been given the...
Since inception.
She has not been... She was moved from one stage to another. Now, what she was entitled by the increment. And on the basis of the increment, her salary should have been fixed. That was never done. Never done to any of the writ petition. They were never given that increments. Now he is saying policy decision. It's not a question of policy decision. Once you are adopting the rules, you will have to follow. You cannot pick up one set of rules and then you say other will not follow. You cannot be. Now, my lord, They filed, my lord, this was in fact concluded, the hearing was concluded. My learned friend, confronting with certain queries for my lord, sought time to file an additional affidavit. Now, I looked into the additional affidavit, there is, my lord, reiteration of the same thing what he had stated earlier, except he had taken up an additional point. Now, these additional point I need to clarify, my lord. If your lordship, my lord, look
What about
into
delay?
My lord?
What about delay?
My lord, can there be delay, my lord? This is a deprivation of a...
Continuing right.
No, your lordship, I'll come. Lordship will see the recommendation when? When was that recommendation? Recommendation was by letter dated 24th August 2020. That the recommendation I have read. And this... No, let me finish.
24th of... You're right, yes.
And what happened, your lordship? There was a dislocation. And my lord, other thing is this thing, other thing, your lordships, when I have a statutory right, my lord, even if I am sleeping over it, my lord, that cannot be defeated by lapse of time. Any point of time I can hesitate it. Now, my lord, the other thing what my learned friend has said, if your lordship look into, my lord, this is concerning the dates. Now, he is saying that government of Meghalaya has adopted it, the scheme of the UGC, by letter dated, my lord, by letter dated 23rd March 2010. Lordship. Whereas the regulation framed by the UGC and notified was on 18 September 2010. March after.
Come again, sorry. My mind's lost. Yes. What are we submitting?
Now, one of the point he had raised, my lord, this is, I think, after thought in the additional affidavit, that government of Meghalaya adopted the scheme formulated by the MHRD dated 31st December 2008 by letter dated 23rd March 2010, which I had just read out, my lord, which is at page 42 of my, type copy is at page 42 of my writ petition.
Yes.
Well, and UGC regulation, the concerned UGC regulation, that regulation of 2010, that was formulated and notified on 18 September 2010. That is March after
a scheme adopted by the government of Meghalaya.
Okay. Now, my lord, I have read into the scheme, what the scheme say, the letter, originally letter issued in 2008. It very categorically say that if you adopt, you follow all the provision we have laid down in the scheme, and also you will have to follow the rules to be framed. Again, I say, my lord, I will stress on it. Past future tense they have used. Why? Obviously, when this was circulated, there was no UGC regulations. So, my lord, these, I don't know why they have taken this stance, because that is very clear in the scheme. You have to follow the UGC rule to be framed in future. So, it came in September, they are bound by it. Now, my lord, on this issue, my lord, there is a decision, my lord. What happens? My lord, that is... the authority is...
We had some objection last time regarding that your pay structure has not been, regarding the individual pay structures of the petitioners.
What is it? He says that pay...
There is no competition from your side.
Huh?
What I had argued is that there is no competition. What is the amount? How much is due? There is no...
My lord, they themselves, my lord, pay slip. He says that you have not annexed the pay slips and other things. My lord, entire services is maintained by them. If they tomorrow ask me that we are carrying out this exercise, you come with your increment, my lord, your pay scale of relevant time and all. These are all available with them. In fact, they have made a statement, my lord, I'll take my lord. In their affidavit, they have made a agreement. They are working on pay fixation. How they are working in the pay fixation without knowing my pay statement?
Yes.
Now, my lord, this is, my lord, author citation is 2022 5 SSC 179. Now, relevant paragraphs are 27, 28, 29 and 50. Lordship has got it. Page 198.
Yes.
Relevant part is at page 198. 27 paragraph. That is also concerning the same regulation in 2010.
Yes.
Lordship. 27 is say prior to enactment of UGC Regulation 2010, Union Ministry Human Resource Development laid down a scheme, revision of pay of teachers and equivalent cadre in the universities following 6th Central Pay Commission. The scheme provides a fixed pay of rupees such along with the special allowance of rupees such per month to the Vice Chancellor. Para 8PB of the said scheme provides that it is extended to the universities, colleges and other higher educational institutions coming under the purview of the state legislature, provided the state government wish to adopt and implement the scheme with certain condition, inter alia financial assistance from the central government to the extent of 80%, maintenance expenditure remaining 20% shall be met by the state government. It further provides that payment of central assistance for implementing the scheme is subject to the condition.
Only one thing, when they adopted the scheme on 23rd of March 2010, did they give the date from which it will take effect?
1/1/2006.
They said that in,
yes,
in that.
Well, there is no dispute. 1/1/2006. They have followed the state government. Though liberty was there, my lord, they have not changed. They followed 1/1/2006.
They said this from 1/1/2006.
There is no problem.
So
And the other thing,
you are entitled to arrears from 2006 now.
But that will come, my lord, when I was placed in the next stage.
Whatever it is.
Next stage. So those things are there, my lord.
And from whatever date, whatever stage you've been put, you'll be entitled to arrears from.
Yes. Now, my lord, next paragraph 28. In the instant case, the state of Gujarat has adopted the said scheme of 31/12/2008 by resolution dated such and such with effect from 1/1/2006, subject to the condition mentioned in the said resolution. Even in the said resolution, condition number 13 provides that the state government will publish the educational qualification as per the UGC instruction published from time to time, and quality yardsticks, teaching work days, norms, instruction, resolution will have to be implemented. Next, my lord, 29. It is not in dispute that the SP University is receiving central financial assistance under the scheme, and it is included in the state universities receiving central financial assistance as per 12B of UGC 19. Therefore, having adopted the UGC scheme and implemented the same, and getting the financial assistance to the extent of 80% of the maintenance expenditure, state government and the SP University are bound by the UGC Regulation 2010. The UGC Regulation 2010 are superseded by UGC Regulation 2018. However, the eligibility criteria for the post of Vice Chancellor and the constitution of the Search Committee for appointment of a Vice Chancellor remain the same. Therefore, the state of Gujarat and the universities thereon, including the SP University, is bound to follow the UGC Regulation 2010 and UGC Regulation 2018.
Just to show the binding factor.
That's what, my lord, I am trying. You cannot do. You cannot say I have adopted, so what I feel like I will follow, other thing I will not follow. You cannot say. So she will kindly, my lord, conclude with 50. My lord, 50. Yes. 50. It cannot be disputed that the UGC regulations are enacted by the UGC in exercise of power conferred by section 26(1)(e) and 26(1)(g) of the UGC Act. Even as per the UGC Act, every rule and regulation made under the Act shall be laid before each House of Parliament. Therefore, being a subordinate legislation, UGC regulation becomes a part of the Act. In case of any conflict between the state legislation and central legislation shall prevail by applying the rule principle of repugnancy as enunciated in Article 254 of the Constitution. As the subject education is in the concurrent list of the 7th schedule of the Constitution, therefore any appointment of the Vice Chancellor contrary to the provision of the violation, here the appointment was set aside, my lord. So, my lord, my learned friend in his affidavit, many things he has said, he is trying to justify, he is saying, no, the resolution, no, I just almost concluded, my lord. Yes. He is trying to say, no, our resolution, we are confined to this. Now, my lord, again I am at the cost of reiteration, even the resolution by the relevant part, they say entitled to increment. And how it will be fixed? As per the UGC notice. That is there in their letter. Now, my lord, coming to pay a fixation form. Now, they have made a statement. I will finish, my lord, with the referring to this original affidavit, first affidavit. Now, they are talking about pay statement and other thing, where they themselves have admitted, my lord, at Lordship, if I can take, my lord, it's a very long paragraph, 7. My lord, page 4 of the first affidavit, original affidavit filed by the state, sometime last year, my lord, 28/10/22 perhaps.
Para 7.
Para 7. Well, it's long. The relevant part, Your Lordship, will be, my Lord, start from bottom paragraph, page 5.
Yes.
In this regard, it may be appropriate to mention here that as per the usual norm and practices, so far as pay fixation of the incumbents are normally being done by the respective colleges, and the same are thereafter sent to the government for approval. But in the recent times, certain objection has been raised by the Directorate of Local Fund regarding such pay fixation, as some anomalies have been found which requires to be regulated. Therefore, the Education Department along with the Local Aid Fund are in the process of streamlining the matters relating to pay fixation deficit college teachers. Now, so for pay fixation also, my lord, this is in the hand of the government. Now they are saying that I should have come up with the pay statement and other things. These are only, my lord, totally absurd submissions, my lord, unable to answer, my lord, the real issues and the queries. So my humble submission, my lord, this call for a direction from this honorable court within a stipulated time. Yes.
How long will it take, Mr.
My lord, I'll not take much time.
5 minutes?
No, not 5 minutes, my lord. My lord, on the last occasion when the matter was taken up, my lord, so there are two objections that I had raised, my lord. Firstly is that with concern to the, my lord, common writ petition, 3 writ petitioners ought to have filed different writ petition. That was one objection, my lord. Secondly, my lord, here the petitioner is primarily relying on the notification which is issued in the year 2010, my lord. But, my lord, the writ petition was filed in the year 2022, my lord. My lord, so there is quite a bit of delay in filing the same, my lord.
Okay, first one is multiple petitioners, multiple cause of action. You're saying that different cause of actions.
Yes.
Okay. No, but I find it stems from one common cause of action.
Well, the other thing
in the sense that it stems from the only thing they're asking implementation of that UGC regulations and the rules which have been framed. Right. That's all. Delay won't be a delay because it's a continuing right. It's like a fountain. It doesn't mean that you don't drink from a fountain 3 days ago. Doesn't mean that you can't. It keeps on coming. Yes, if you're entitled to it.
And one main difficulty, my lord, of course, my learned senior is saying that all the informations ought to be with the government. But my lord, these are so many colleges. My lord, the number of teachers. My lord, what the writ petitioner could have done, my lord, they could have formulated their own computation. My lord, my learned senior has argued on a lot of points. My lord, as far as the scale of pay and the fixation and increment is concerned, my lord, I have to candidly admit that I am still confused, my lord. I don't know where the case stands, my lord. My lord, the petitioner at least could have given.
No, you see, he's arguing on principle.
My lord.
The principle is that once you've adopted certain rules, then everything has to be in accordance with those rules. All entitlements, whatever admissible, they're entitled to that. That's all.
My lord, as far as
you go on a broad aspect, that's it.
My lord, as far as my limited instruction which we received from the state.
Why limited instructions?
My lord, is that, my lord, we have filed in the additional affidavit, my lord. Now, my lord, our thing is that everything is already being provided to all the college teachers, whether this.
Meaning they already been afforded this EGP also.
My lord, the revised pay, the government is saying is that the revised pay scale is already being given to all. Whether it is the government teacher
does that
or the private teachers.
include what is envisaged in the scheme, in this rules?
So, my lord, as far as the only contention which the state government is telling at this point, my lord, submitting at this point is that as far as the increment is concerned, my lord, there is no decision taken by the state government to with regard to the implementation of the increment, my lord.
Promotional increment.
Promotional increment. Otherwise, everything else, the petitioners are already getting.
No, but if you already adopted the scheme, then that is part and parcel of the entire, what the entitlements that they should get.
So, my lord, if my lord allows me to, my lord, read my additional affidavit which I filed. Of course. My lord, may I take my lord's attention to page 3, my lord. Page 3 of the additional affidavit, my lord.
Yes.
Scheme of revision of pay. On the recommendation of University Grants Commission, the revision of pay for university and college teachers is notified by Ministry of Education, MOE, formerly known as Ministry of Human Resource Development, from time to time. This exercise is usually carried out every 10 years or so. It may be mentioned that the said exercise is undertaken by the MOE oblique MHRD subsequent to acceptance of the revised pay scales of the central government employees as recommended by Central Pay Commission. In the instant case, the petitioners placed reliance on the MHRD letter dated 31/12/2008 regarding scheme of revision of pay of teachers and equivalent cadres in universities and colleges following the revision of pay scales of central government employees on the recommendation of the 6th Central Pay Commission. The said scheme incorporates revised pay scales of incumbent teachers placed at various stages of their career and pay fixation formula for the existing teachers as well as the teachers who are going to be recruited subsequent to the implementation of the scheme. The Government of Meghalaya, through the Director of Higher and Technical Education, issued a letter dated 23/3/2010 regarding revision of pay scales, etc. on the basis of the aforesaid MHRD letter dated 31/12/2008. Now, for ready reference, my lord, this thing was quoted, my lord. Now, if I take, my lord, to the next page, my lord.
Now you're saying that
the said letter, if I'm allowed to read, my lord.
Yes.
The said letter dated 23/3/2010 only mentions that the state government has ordered the adoption and implementation of the UGC norms as per the Government of India letter dated 31/12/2008. Further, the said letter dated, so my lord, this was the point which was argued by my learned senior, my lord. Further, the said letter dated 23/3/2010 could not have automatically adopted the UGC regulation 2010 as the same was notified only subsequently, my lord. Hence, it is obvious that the above referred letter of the Director of Higher and Technical Education was issued prior to the issuance of the 2010 UGC regulation, my lord. So this is one contention, my lord. Now we come, if I take, my lord, to the next page, my lord. UGC regulation. UGC regulation, on the other hand, is notified by the University Grants Commission subsequent to the notification of scheme of.
You made UGC party here?
UGC is not a party, my lord. They ought to have made UGC
no,
a party.
No, not required, man.
UGC regulation.
MHRD have made a party.
Who's appearing for the union? Nobody.
Nobody is. I have sound a copy, but I don't know.
UGC regulation, on the other hand, is notified by University Grants Commission subsequent to the notification of scheme of pay revision by the MHRD. The regulation incorporates minimum qualification. So, my lord, UGC regulation is basically first and foremost thing about UGC regulation, my lord. This is the qualification, my lord. What is the qualification, minimum qualification required? What is the qualification from go from one stage to the other stage, my lord?
So you mean to say that you only adopted the UGC norms only with regard to qualification, not with regard to pay revision?
My lord, that is no. Even pay revision we are admitting, my lord. But as far as the increment is concerned, my lord, our primary thing is that, my lord,
there is pay revision. You okay only for qualification. So if they qualified to go to stage 1 to stage 2, you said well and good, you go, but then no promotional increment.
Only with regard to promotional increment, madam. Pay revision they are getting.
Of course, no. Now your stand is that okay, fine. We have adopted these norms. I mean these rules. We will, on qualifying, you attain a qualifying criteria, you go to next stage. But you have a PhD, okay, 3 years. You have MPhil 4 years. You don't have 6 years, okay. On qualifying, well and good, you just go ahead, but no promotional increment. Can that be a proposition that is you can't have a piecemeal kind of approach?
But my lord, this applies to all, my lord. It is not a case that it is applying only to the case of the petition.
No, it's not. No, it'll apply to all, of course.
Yes.
If they are qualified, as per saying that you adopted a qualifying criteria, you see just it prescribes the qualifying criteria.
Because ultimately,
then if a person qualifies, has that criteria, then why shouldn't be entitled to the fruits of that criteria also?
My lord, the only thing is that, my lord, because there will be huge financial burden upon the state.
That is the real question.
Yes.
That is
my lord, because my lord, the government is giving all other benefits. And my lord, it is not a case, my lord, where the fund is either coming from UGC or from the Ministry of Home Affairs. My lord, MHRD.
But can the state say that you don't have money?
Human resource, my lord. No, my lord, state has a limited fund, my lord, that is there. Out of their budgetary allocation, my lord, these...
How many deficit colleges are here in Meghalaya?
My
What is
lord,
the entire capital strength of which are supported, by the state? Any idea?
my lord, at this stage it will be difficult, my lord.
And
But
the
in
entire
Shillong
financial
itself,
implications
my lord,
that
in
will-
Shillong itself, there will be at least eight colleges, perhaps. My lord, because St. Mary's is there, Anthony's is there, my lord, Edmonds is
The
there.
relevant thing will be how many UGC qualified teachers in this school? There are many teachers
No,
not
in
qualified.
every college there's UGC qualified,
No,
then the college is paid, and there's some who are paid by governing body itself. Now, we're not going there. But the thing is that in principle, you've accepted this. You've accepted for qualifying criteria that the whole bundle comes with the promotional increment also. See, you can't avoid that.
But my lord, this is the instruction which we...
Instruction that because of financial implications.
Financial implications, my lord. Financial implication as well as, my lord, policy, my lord, that the government had decided to only implement as far as the qualification is concerned, and the, my lord, pay revision, of course, they are getting, my lord. It is not a case that they are not getting pay revision.
But now, like, can you show something to show that that's permissible? That that will give you qualifying criteria. You go from stage. What's the point of going from stage 2 to stage 3 or stage 1 to stage 2 then? If you don't have that incentive.
My lord, but as for their promotion, my lord, the scale of pay will automatically, my lord, change, my lord. From a certain stage 1 to stage 2.
We have to show some concrete thing.
Stage 3, my lord.
Yes, okay. Continue.
So, my lord, if I am allowed to read, my lord.
Yes.
So, my lord, I take, my lord, to point C, my lord, scheme of increment.
Okay.
Scheme of increment as incorporated in the scheme of pay revision is the rule to be followed for fixation of pay of those who are already in service. This is stated in clause 13(1) of the Central Civil Service Rules Revision of Pay 2008. Whereas the scheme of additional increment while moving from each lower to higher grades is provided in clause 10(4) under the heading increments, page 7919 of the UGC Regulation 2010. In this regard, it may be stated that the government of Meghalaya so far has not implemented the above said scheme of additional increment while fixing the salary of college teachers who got placement from lower AGP to higher AGP. And there is no notification letter as on dates stating that the government of Meghalaya has adopted the UGC Regulation 2010. Even if attention is drawn to point at serial number 6(3) of the government letter dated 23rd March 2010 or point at serial 8(3) of the MHRD letter dated 31/12/2008, it simply says that the number of additional increments on placement at each higher stage of AGP shall be as per the existing scheme of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher scale. However, in view of the considerable raise in the effective pay between the two pay bands, there shall be no additional increment on movement of pay band of rupees 15,600 so and so to pay band of rupees 34,400, which in respectful submission implies that there shall be no additional increment on movement from pay band 15,600 to pay band 37,400. Moreover, the MHRD letter dated 31/12/2008, based on which the government letter dated 23/3/2010 is issued, has also not clearly spelled out as to what is the existing scheme of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher pay scale. Further, in absence of any specific notification letter from Education Department, Government of Meghalaya, regarding additional increment of the teachers on their placement from stage 1 to another, the Director of Local Fund Audit is applying the analogy of FR 23(2), which is enclosed here with Melon, of the Meghalaya FRNSR 1984 as amended, where no additional increment is added. The relevant portion is quoted herein below for ready reference. So this is FR 23, my lord. This is what is presently being provided by the government, my lord.
No, what do you mean to say that has not clearly spelled out what the existing scheme of increment?
My lord.
What do you mean by this statement?
My lord, the government is also, my lord, to my understanding, because there is no specific, my lord, instruction as to how it would have to be applied.
What instruction?
What is the existing scheme? Now, what do they mean by the existing scheme of increment, my lord? On promotion from lower pay scale.
Scheme of increment? Yes, Mr. Sen, what's the existing scheme of increment? That's given that chart, correct?
It's clearly spelled out. I have read it just now. I'll read it again, my lord.
Where the chart is?
My lord, I'm just.
That is.
Pay fixation formula. They have categorically says what is the pay fixation formula.
7392.
73, my lord. Yes. 7933. Pay fixation formula.
7933. Yes.
Pay fixation formula recommended by sex.
No, increment.
Increment, it starts from 9 to 8.
Each annual increment shall be equivalent 3% sum total of pay relevant pay band AGP is applicable for a stage in a pay band. 8A1.
No, that is, my lord, the annual increments. This is also referring to 3%. Now, lordship, we are, my lord, I am stressing 3.
Yes.
A number of additional increments on placement at each higher stage of AGP shall be as per the existing scheme of increment on promotion from lower pay scale to higher pay scale. However, in view of the considerable rise in effective pay between such and such, this will not apply for movement to this and this. They are saying, my lord, this is issued by MHRA. They are saying as per the existing scheme. Obviously, the existing scheme is the, my lord, whatever accepted by the central government. And this has been further clarified in the next page. Fixation formula. Pay fixation formula recommended by 6th Central Pay Commission as accepted by the government. Government has accepted and formulated the 2008 rules. Shall be adopted for teachers, equivalent position, library, etc. So where is the confusion? Now what my learned friend saying, for increment, state government is required to issue another notification. Well, it's not like this. It is very clear and categorical. Once you adopt the entire thing. Not in piecemeal. And other thing, my lord, 23rd March, they are referring to increment.
Yes.
Why they are referring to the increment? And they are saying, so far increment is concerned, we will go by the UGC notification. That is a conscious decision by the government of Meghalaya, and he is not, my lord, dealing with this. What do you answer?
What is the increment part? There should not be any confusion, yes.
My lord. So, my lord, the stand of the government, my lord, is that the, my lord, it is relying on the Director of Local Fund and Audit is applying the analogy of FR 23, 2 of the Meghalaya FR and SR, my lord. That is quoted herein below, my lord.
How will it come in here?
My lord, this is being applied in the pay fixation, my lord. This is the stand of the government, and this is also being applied in the pay
Now,
fixation.
see, the thing is that now his case is based on a 6th pay commission, correct?
My lord.
Right. Now you are paying your teachers as per the 7th pay commission. Is that correct?
My lord, the latest notification, if I may draw my lord's attention, my lord, this is which is dated 2000, annexure 2 of our affidavit, my lord, additional affidavit. Here is as per the recommendation of the 7th Central Pay Commission, my lord.
That is what the court is saying, that now you are in the 7th pay commission. We're not to confuse between the
6th pay and the 7th pay.
6th and 7th pay with entitlements they're getting per 7th. That's totally independent. What they are seeking is only for that
promotional increment.
Promotional increment, which as per the rules they are entitled to and which has not been given, adopted by you. That is the case. Correct. That is what.
But my lord, my respectful submission, my lord. Here also, my lord will see even the latest notification of the government. My lord, here also there is no whisper about promotional increment.
Which election?
My lord, this is annexure 2, page 12 of the additional affidavit, my lord.
So this is regard to 7th pay CPC. Yes.
So my lord, here also, otherwise, my lord, there should have been a mention of, my lord.
Why?
Here also there is no mention of promotional increment.
This is only piece approved and printed revised UGC scale of pay as per recommendations. This revised scale is the basic pay scale.
Yes, my lord.
It's not with regard to the additional, like entitlements that get on qualifying on length of service.
My lord.
Anyway.
My lord, if I draw my lord's attention to para 3, my lord, of our affidavit, additional affidavit, page 7, my lord.
Yes.
That the deponent respectfully submits that the government has already revised the pay of government college teachers as well as the deficit college teachers alike as per the UGC norms with effect from 1/1/2006 as already stated.
That you already said just now.
Yes, madam. Now it can be seen, Lord, it can be seen that the same does not speak of any increment or additional increment. Further, it is pertinent to mention herein that the state government is not getting any salary grant from the UGC or the MHRD. The salary of the teachers is solely being borne by the state government and none other. It will also be apt to mention herein that the service of the deficit college teachers is guided by the Assam Aided College Employee Rules 1960, the Assam Aided College Employee Amendment Rules 1973, and the management of the deficit colleges including release of salary grant etc. as per the Meghalaya Deficit Aided College Management Rules 2000.
You want to show the code. How can you make the rules apply piecemeal? Whether it's permissible or not? How?
My lord, I'll only have to say
No,
it is a matter of policy decision, my lord.
Relying on the affidavit will have no use. We're just reading whatever you've written. That's had no purpose.
My lord.
You have to show that how, like while in one hand applying the rules, on the other hand withholding some benefit. That's the only thing. Whether it's permissible in law or whether it's permissible at all, or whether can it be a policy decision when it involves, like it's subordinate legislation like UGC rules. Just like that.
But my lord, as far as my respectful submission, as far as the Honorable Supreme Court's decision, my lord. Now that is primarily, my lord, the subject matter is the appointment of the Vice Chancellor.
No, that is just analogy he's drawing, that once the same para A3, everything is there. That, so anyway, I'm not very satisfied.
My lord, the only problem is that I'll have to, this is the limited instruction. My lord, the government has repeatedly relied on
I'll give you another date. Mr. Sense concludes arguments. I'll hear it again. Yes, sir. Heard in part. You prepare, you come up with some, what do you call it, authorities, if that's permissible. Just again, we'll have it next week. Should be completed. Yes.
It is too long again, my lord.
No.
Next Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. Yes. Not on Friday. Because we have limitations. I have to leave station on an afternoon.
Wednesday, my lord.
Next Wednesday, yes.
All right.
40.
You prepare, Mr. Barasali. Difficult case, but you never know. Yes.
Your Lordship, I pray if this matter can be adjourned for a day.
What's the matter about? It's like half an hour. By the usual court sitting here, yes. What's the matter about?
For paper.
Non-payment of salary. Why not paying salary? How many months you have been paid salary?
Your Lordship, I was regularized in 2006, and after that, in 2021, I was proposed to be given a post in the sanction post under Kalasi, which was I was demoted, Your Lordship.
You demoted?
Yes, Your Lordship, and on that basis, I have come before this court, Your Lordship, for discharging my pay as per the.
You want your arrears or your pay?
Yes, Your Lordship.
By this case, you want arrears in your pay or just your pay?
My pay and the areas, Your Lordship, which have been deprived since the day I joined, Your Lordship, as a regularized employee in 2006.
You have been paid once also?
I was paid only as an ad hoc employee, Your Lordship.
Okay. Is that a question? When you want it?
After 2 weeks, Your Lordship.
After 2 weeks? And a prayer of respondent, this matter of 2 weeks.
Yes.
16.
I'm discharged from service, Your Lordship. Discharged from service on contractual marriage.
Contracting second marriage.
Lordship. But the show cause notice was issued after the second marriage was not in existence.
But you admit to contract a second marriage, correct?
Because there are certain reasons, because the petitioner was perhaps duped by the second wife.
What do you mean by duped by second wife?
Because there are certain they were in not in a relationship, Your Lordship. The basic of that, and the petitioner has also filed a divorce petition, and it was already decreed, Your Lordship. Now, subsequently, the show cause notice was issued. And
so you mean to say that you never married second time? No effective.
I will not say that it will amount to marriage, Your Lordship. Not legally marriage, because we had challenged the marriage
is discharge.
And other challenges
they
that
had a court of inquiry also.
Court of inquiry, but the proceedings are vitiated in the sense that the no inquiry report was submitted to furnished to the petitioner. We're not given ample opportunity to participate in.
What is court of inquiry? Why inquiry report?
No, the proceedings.
Did they give you a statement of witnesses?
No,
they
never supplied.
You
never
haven't
supplied.
received anything.
Never supplied. Never supplied.
Where's the? Have they received? Mr. Devlan, did you supply them the statement of witnesses and the?
You receive in this case, as per this affidavit, it come of this. He first of all said that he didn't get the copies, and he has filed the reply, and subsequently final reply is filed when he got all the record. It is mentioned here.
So discharge order was after that.
After. And he had a second marriage certificate to include in our affidavit. Yes. This was he was saying this he didn't get married, but in marriage certificate.
You got divorced with second wife also.
Yes, Lordship. Then after that, the notice had come, the show cause notice.
Now, what do you mean? You think that by already indulging in a crime after you?
Lordship, the marriage itself was questioned by us, by the petitioner itself.
What petitioner? See a show cause notice. Show cause reply.
Show cause notice will be
your
at page.
Reply. Look at page 45.
43.
You admitted. I was trapped by a lady, leading consequences to my own detriment.
That was the ground, Lordship. There was not really a marriage, Lordship. The
But
lady
the marriage
had
is registered. You can't go look behind whether you are trapped or you trapped or who, God knows who trapped who. Just that.
But this is even the punishment is quite harsh, Lordship. Dismissal from service.
What are the different stages of punishment for bigamy? Where's Assam Rifles rules?
Rules to 2010 rules, Lordship.
It is enclosed in the.
I've enclosed in my repetition, Lordship. Page 54.
Page?
Page 54.
No, regarding the stages, there are different levels of punishment for such.
That I'll have to bring the rules, Lordship. I don't have the complete rules with me right now.
See, if you look at if you argue quantum,
Lordship,
then there are different levels of of punishment. Like for one offence, suppose you commit some offence overstaying. So for you can be given like 3 years or 3 months imprisonment or 3 years imprisonment, or you can be compulsory retired. But the lowest punishment is compulsory retirement. Then if it's harsher, suppose you've been absent for maybe you'll be imprisoned for 3 years.
For 3 years.
So
I'll look into that.
What's the level of punishment for bigamy?
This is page 54. Is this petition?
No.
We'll have to see at rule 57 as that is not with me right now, Lordship.
Rule 57, yes.
Rule 57, the other Lordship was part of the bench. With regard to the punishment, I'll come on the next day, Lordship.
Matter after hearing sometimes it's matter of 2 weeks request of the counsel petitioner.
Obliged.
17.
Any serious matter, huh? Who's been engaged by the government to argue this matter now?
AG is there.
Where's the AG?
Your Lordship, I have a small prayer, Your Lordship. We would like to file an affidavit, Your Lordship, because there are some of the notifications that have not been brought to record, Your Lordship.
Yes. But you finish your argument. You finished, right?
Almost. But since
what do you mean almost?
But since new one is coming, I'll shorten my argument.
And these batch matters, item number,
70 to 20, Your Lordship.
Yes. The learned GA MS item was submitted due to subsequent developments, and affidavit needs to be brought on record for proper adjudication of the matter. Only 2 weeks time to grant it.